hear that? It's like the pulse of the street, a hole in the chest.
Yo, my people, what is going on? Welcome back to another live stream show episode, however y'all want to call it. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody listening right now. A huge shout out to everybody up in the chat. Shout out to Taino, Denise, Uncommon Sense, Johnny Mills, J Bone. Shout out to everybody listening, commenting, and all that other stuff. Shout out to Zone. Is there going to be a third part? I don't think so. I don't think so. But this was highly requested to have a second part. And as always, I bring to you my internet pupil, Denise. What's going on?
Everything is good. How about you, Rod?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You wanna plug your thing real quick?
Let's do it at the end. Let's do it at the end.
Okay, but before we start, I want to just make this very clear. Um, this isn't to attack Black Americans, just to attack the FBA narrative and the FBA talking point. And I'm even gonna write this down. You got something to say, Denise?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions we've gotten so far. When people are like, "Oh my God, you're attacking black people," whatever, whatever. No, no, we're attacking the philosophy, the flawed philosophy that FBAs have gathered and adopted and picked up, you know, to be able to justify anti-blackness. That's literally what we're doing. We're attacking FBA's talking points and their narrative that is very, very flawed. So if you're getting triggered by this, then that means that you're one of those. And if you're one of those, then this show is for you.
Yeah, I even put it up on the thing just in case people want to take this whole stream and make it about them. I've figured out it's very easy to trigger certain people, especially there's this individual who's a thing that his skin is amazing.
Oh my
Where
God.
yeah, he's so it's like so annoying. He so happens to I got to the point where I know how to get at him without even saying his name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
These people don't understand. We love triggering them.
yeah, that's the thing. And
Love it.
it's so funny. But this is a continuation for the last one, Black Colonizers. This is basically the continuation. Really quickly, guys, the podcast is out. The audio podcast is already out audioly. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys follow me on your podcast, any podcast application, definitely I'm there. So the podcast is already out. Wednesday, the visual podcast will be out, and that will be the last thing I'm gonna, upload until maybe next week because there's a lot of things that I'm moving around, in my personal life. Gotta get things situated. You know what I'm saying? So for the next week and a half, you guys not gonna hear about me, you know what I'm saying? But definitely I'm giving you guys some content, you know what I'm saying? But this is a very important content because again, once you start putting a narrative out there, once you start putting a certain ideology out there, uh it's quickly you're gonna start to see how the holes in that ideology starts to become very apparent. And once any individual, any group decides to adopt the Americana mindset or the Americana label and ideology, you have to understand that you can not only get the good, that means you're going to have to also take the bad with it, you know? And again, FBA is not, the group is not, they're not innocent when it comes to this. FBA, not Black Americans, FBA is a hate group that puts themselves saying that they were in every American war. Well, that also would mean you were in every American destabilization in every country. And that's the reason why immigrants are coming here. The same thing that you guys are complaining about. You know what I'm saying? You guys are the cause for the immigration to come here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love,
So
now that you say that, I love the comment that Taino Knight says. I don't know if you can highlight it for a second. When he put up, FBAs are Afro-Saxons in the 21st century who carry out wars, big or small, like the intervention in Haiti.
well, we are gonna talk about that. We're gonna mention
Yeah.
that, but
So it's something that we're gonna talk about that later. I just wanted to point out the fact that if you want to come with this banner
repeat
of innocence as if, because this is something that I'm growing tired about. I don't know why people think that this channel is not what has always been for. It's black and brown unity. If you don't like it, if you are not for black and brown unity, then this is not the platform for you. Now,
exactly.
my thing is, for unity to happen, even in the simplest form, which is a friendship, you have to understand that your friends are going to regulate behavior in you, and you're going to regulate behavior in your friends. That is not going to be socially accepted. So, if that happens in the simplest social form, such as friendship, which is why it's important for people to be social, uh, then what makes you think that black and brown unity is not going to require from you and from the brown people, which are in this case Latino, it's not going to require from both parts some adjustments, some common ground, some compromising, some understanding. And I think it's funny to me because I come from the understanding that, the black people that came here and the FBAs that supported this platform were all up for that. And they were cheering on and very excited when we were calling out the anti Blackness, the blatant racism and ignorance from our collective, which is the Latino collective. And we did it for years. Now,
Exactly.
it was fun back then, but then now when we're okay, let's address the anti Blackness, the anti Latino, and the xenophobia on this sector, which happens to be Black folks. Now, all of a sudden, we have a problem. We're racist, we're white supremacists, we're anti ADOS people, we're anti everything. When in reality, it's like, why you have to be so supreme? And it's given funny style vibes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, no, I totally agree with you on that. And again, it's just the rhetoric of FBA that we're talking about, and it's something I already addressed. I had the same energy for anti-blackness no matter where it came from.
I
It
think we
just
have more. We have more for Latino folks.
yeah,
And
and
that's
it,
something I want to say before, sorry to cut
go
you
ahead,
off,
go ahead,
Brad.
go ahead.
For the people that love to correct us now that we're talking about your collective, if you have not consumed Radical Latino, at least 60 of his videos, when we're talking about Latinos and we're literally talking to their anti-blackness, the racism that's out there in the open, and we're calling them out, even when nobody liked to do that, because I followed radicals since years ago. When nobody was calling this stuff out, no one was doing this, he was the only person doing this. And it wasn't until 2020, when anti-blackness went viral on Twitter, that everybody started realizing, oh, there's a guy called Radical Latino that was saying this for years. So if you're not consuming that content and you're only consuming this one because it concerns your collective, then of course I can see why you will be triggered thinking, oh my God, here this Latino just talking about Black folks. If you have not consumed that content, it's time for you to do so before you can make an assessment on who we are and what we stand for, because it's getting ridiculous to have to explain to people what we stand for.
Yeah, it's stupid. Really, it's idiotic. You know what I mean? Whether they accept it, American blacks are FBA. No, they're not. FBA is a group. Don't stop trying to make it. They're a group. So first of all, we're gonna start with an FBA individual, a politician, uh, basically supporting the invasion of Haiti. So we're gonna take a listen real quick. And again, this is FBA again supporting an invasion of another country. And guess what? And and FBAs are complaining about immigration. Well, you guys are causing it. So let's take a listen.
The second resolution we're working on would authorize a non-UN international security assistance mission to help improve the security situation and enable the flow of desperately needed humanitarian aid. This reflects one of the options that the Secretary General recommended the Security Council consider. This is also a direct response to Prime Minister Henri's and the Haitian Council of Ministers' request for international assistance to help restore security and alleviate the humanitarian crisis.
So this was her, supporting the invasion of Haiti, and I'm gonna show you guys the aftermath of what transpired in Haiti. Actually, a couple of days ago, to be completely honest with y'all. Can you wait? Can you see that, Denise?
Yeah, I can see it. I can definitely
Let
see
me
it.
try to. Okay. All right. So the last thing Haiti needs is foreign military intervention. Right. So let's read along. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry for the noise. They're doing the gardening here, okay? It
Go ahead.
says the Biden administration is throwing its support behind a misguided push for international intervention in Haiti. The United States has drafted a proposed UN Security Council resolution that calls for an armed multinational force to be sent to the Caribbean country over the express opposition of most Haitians and the bulk of Haitian civil society. Can you scroll up a little bit? It says the unelected and widely despised Haitian authorities under acting Prime Minister Ariel Henry have appealed for outside forces to restore order, but the people of Haiti have made it as clear as they can that Henry and his allies do not speak for them and that the request has not legitimacy. The United States has meddled too often and caused too much harm to Haiti over the decades, and it is time for our government to stop its habit of baleful interference and let people of Haiti chart their own course.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna stop it right there. So the Haitian people are even telling United States, "Hey, get away from here." Who do you think they're gonna be sending over there in Haiti? Who do you think they're gonna be sending in? White Americans, Latinos, and FBAs, right? That's who they're gonna
Yeah.
be sending. So don't tell me that immigration is an issue. How come there's a lot of people coming in here because you guys are taking a part of it? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the Latinos as well, but this is mostly to talk about the FBA narrative. You know what I'm saying? FBAs are going out there. You know what I'm saying? FBA is going out there. Fake news. Come on. That means that gets you blocked real quick. Hold on, wait. I think Marquis says I was in Haiti when I was in the army in 2010. The people loved, as they say. It was the first time they've ever seen things function properly. Well, that was probably back then, not now.
But none of but let okay. I went over there to Puerto Principe when the earthquake happened as a medical cadet. Okay, so I was there, and they love us medical cadets too, and we came from Puerto Rico and other parts of the Caribbean. So I mean, it. You can't say that people will love you in times of desperation because, of course, they're going to love you. Okay, there was a point we, as medical cadets, we had an option. We could not stay more than 3 days in Haiti helping people if we donated our meals because it's humanly impossible for you to sustain yourself for more than 72 hours without food. So we donated our food, of course, because when you see a lot of people that are not, properly, they don't have proper nutrition, you're going to donate your food to them. You're going to, there was limited resources at the time when we reached them, and we were there just to provide medical support. So of course they freaking loved us because they're desperate. They're going to love you. But if you go back to the 90s and the 80s in the era of the boogeyman in Haiti, I don't know how many people know this, the American intervention caused more harm than good because the Americans did not necessarily do anything to regulate the violence that they said they were going over there to regulate. This is the same thing that's happening. And I don't know if you guys remember, but the boogeyman era was one of the most heinous, bloody chapters of Haiti in modern times, if that's considered modern, to the point that I have a great grandma that migrated from Haiti because of the boogeyman, escaping that type of violence. So the US did not solve any issues. They just went in there to harvest resources and allow Royal Caribbean to buy one of the piece of the coastlines of freaking Haiti. That's what happened. So of course you can't go to someone that's starving, offer them a cookie, and they tell you, "Oh, I love you," even though you have killed their whole family. They're gonna take the damn cookie. You get my point? Because they're starving. So we can't do those things
Exactly.
and say like, "Oh my God, they love us." Of course they're gonna love you. They just suffered one of the most catastrophic events that a country can withstand, which is a massive earthquake that destroyed the very fragile infrastructure they had.
Exactly. And talking about infrastructure, there was a recent article that Denise put up that really spoke to a lot of it spoke volumes. And I want Denise to read this next article right here. She put this up on her Instagram. So it basically says Atlanta woman charged in alleged 156 million hurricane disaster relief fraud. So Denise, take it away.
It says a federal grand jury charged a 43-year-old Atlanta woman in defrauding the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. The Department of Justice said on September 20th, 2017, Hurricane Maria made landfall as a Category 4 storm in Puerto Rico. FEMA sought vendors to provide self-heating meals per week to the island. It says the agency did business with the woman and her company and gave her a 156 million contract to provide 30 million self-heating meals to Puerto Rico's residents after the hurricane. The department claims that residents didn't receive any self-heating meals. Instead, they only received meals that they could not heat themselves. The residents of Puerto Rico were depending on and expecting the very best from its federal government during the unprecedented disaster, U.S. Attorney Ryan K. Buchanan said. She also plagiarized the proposal she pitched to the federal government to help her receive the funds, according to the department. FEMA claims the woman also lied about the timing of deliveries and status of suppliers by using false documents. On October 19, 2017, FEMA ended its contract with the woman and her company. After the contract ended, she allegedly attempted to lie to FEMA, secure more payments from the agency. The federal judge charged her with 11 counts of major disaster fraud, 14 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of theft of government money, and 3 counts of money laundering. She's currently awaiting trial where she could serve time for her charges.
And for people wondering, what does this have to do? She was also FBA. Just to let y'all know. So we're seeing that FBA individuals are not only frauding people here, but they're also frauding people outside of here. You know what I'm saying? So this is the type of ideology that certain individuals want to take and say, well, we did this and we did that and all that other stuff, but not really pointing to, okay, you're also causing harm as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're also doing this as well. So this is something that we definitely have to also call out and play a part of, because if we say quiet, the majority of these type of things is gonna keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna rock with no anti-black group, regardless of who they are, regardless of what skin color they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be rocking with no anti-black group. So I'm a Marquise again. I was a logistic officer, just came from Iraq. Our biggest problem was local corruption in Haiti. In the size of Maryland, its restaurants are what?
He's basically saying that the biggest problem in Haiti is corruption. Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
Marquis, the corruption from Haiti is manipulated by no other than the United States. I made a full video months ago, I think earlier this year, regarding how U.S. corporations are the ones responsible for the corruption of Haiti. That's a reality. The
Mm,
assassination of Jovenel Moise, I covered that lengthily. That came from the U.S. That's not a coincidence.
mm,
Let's keep it real. We can go there if people, in case people don't know, we can go there.
mm-hmm.
Okay, we can literally dissect how Haiti has been under the US's oppression for decades. And it's simply because the US wants the resources, and because Haitians do not want or allow that to happen at the expense of their lives, then the US continues to do what they do and starve them to death. We're seeing it now with the whole oil situation, when they were the one of the few still dependent on Venezuelan oil countries, and what the US just did. So their lives are more expensive now, and we don't want to pay them enough money.
Yeah.
We don't, but we consume all the goods that these people make. Don't think for a second the Haitians are just living their day, swimming in the beach. No, these people are actually making your boxers, your undershirts, your t-shirts. That's what Haitians do, and we
Yeah.
don't even want to pay them money for that. So the corruption is not, it's American made, because let's not forget their politicians are American appointed.
Yeah. And this other article right here is actually from a couple of years ago. I guess FEMA is the number one place to go to get money if you really want it. FEMA officials arrested for fraud over Hurricane Maria recovery effort in Puerto Rico. There was another lady. It was actually a bunch of corrupt emergency management agencies, but this lady right here what got arrested because of defrauding FEMA and stealing money. So Denise, go right ahead. Can you read it? Yo, Denise. Yo, Denise. Yo. Am I muted? Hold up. Yo, can y'all hear me? I think y'all can hear me. Hold up. Denise is not. Yo, Denise. Okay. It looks like something happened. Something happened. The Haitians got her. The Haitians got her. So that happened. Hold on. Let me read Kevin C real quick before so Denise could come back. The U.S. government is corrupt. The Haitian government is corrupt and propped up the U.S. and approved leaders for the corrupt. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. That does happen. And it is. Every government is corrupt. Like you just said. Marquez goes, the reason the U.S. promote U.S. Government is because there was no government that kept killing all their own. Ah, eh, we killed our own leaders. You know what I mean? I can hear. Okay. Drop the. I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link. You just gotta give me a minute. We gotta get through this real quick. But I'm gonna wait for Denise to come in. I guess something happened, but there it goes. There she goes. Yo.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all good. No, it's all good. It's all good. Let me hold on. Let me set the thing up again real quick. So this FBA individual decided to fraud the FEMA, recovery efforts of Puerto Rico, and you could start along right here, Denise.
It says a former administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA, was arrested Tuesday for from taking bribes from the president of a company that landed 1.8 billion in federal contracts to repair Puerto Rico's electrical grid after Hurricane Maria devastated the island in September 2017. Federal authorities arrested Aisha Tribble. I'm sorry, my first language is Spanish. FEMA's former deputy administrator for the region that includes Puerto Rico. Donald Keith Ellison, the former president of Cobra Acquisitions, was also arrested. They were accused of conspiracy to commit bribery of public officials, acts affecting a personal financial interest, false statements, disaster fraud, honest services wire fraud, travel acts violations, and wire fraud. According to a statement from the Department of Justice, Ms. Tribble and Mr. Ellison had a close personal relationship from October 2017 to April 2019, and Mr. Ellison gave Ms. Tribble gifts that range from personal helicopter use, hotel accommodations, and personal security services, according to the DOJ statement.
Damn, Shorty was out here wilding,
She
yo.
was living the life.
Yo,
People don't
yeah.
think people don't think that this is real, but Hurricane Maria basically devastated the whole island, and we're seeing right now how Puerto Ricans are even protesting that they have no power grid. Their power grid is went to hell. This is the reason. This FBI woman that you guys are seeing was supposed to oversee that we had on the island a proper power grid reconstruction, and she decided that her interests were more important than the people in Puerto Rico. So when people keep saying we're innocent, we get these attacks out of nowhere. We're not like the white Americans. They are the ones doing this type of stuff. We give them the side eye because, that's not really true. If you're American, which you are, you also participate in these things. The same applies for Latinos that do it. And we all have blood in our hands. It's time for us to stop being hypocrites and just admit the truth. Just accept it.
Exactly.
It's not an unprovoked, like people don't come here with contempt for American folks just because they woke up one day and say, I just don't like American people. They come here with contempt towards Americans because Americans go around the world bullying, pillaging, and killing people and taking the resources for themselves. They
Exactly.
act like an empire, and obviously people don't like any empire. Go ask the Greeks, go ask, the Spaniards, go ask the French, go ask anyone if in the past, look in history, if they like the empire. They never did. How is it that we in Star Wars we can understand this? Oh, everyone else in the resistance is okay. Everyone is a good person. You want to be all these Jedi and all these great people, but when it comes to you understanding that you're part of the evil empire today, you want to be loved.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
makes
yeah.
no sense.
I got a couple of people in the back. Let's give me a minute. I got resident fire me. Okay. What's up, bro?
Oh no, it was good, man. I'm just tapping in.
Oh, what's going on,
Um,
man? And just give me a minute. And I got Marquise 912. What's going on, bro?
What's up?
What's up? What's up? So to resident, any thoughts on what we spoke about?
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's tricky from what I know about Haiti. It is a lot of different countries that got their hands in there, and yeah, it's messed up. They do need structure, but I'm always anti America putting their finger or anything. I just hope they can figure it out because the Haitians are real good people, man. I lived in TJ when the first wave of migrants landed there, and yeah, they came in. Um, just to give contrast, when other, I don't want to name specific migrants, but when specific migrants came, they came and just wanted like welfare. But the Haitians came and they were asking for work, looking for work. They brought a lot of their culture, like they started selling stuff on the streets, and like I said, it's a real good group of people, man. They're definitely respected and beloved out there in TJ.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you got any thoughts on how on the Americans influence on other outside countries out of America?
How they got said again?
Do you got any thoughts on the American influence, Americans' thumb on people outside of or countries outside of America?
Yeah, like what they got going on with Cuba with the embargo and all that stuff, it's wrong, man. I understand like when you're at war with certain countries, like whether it be Russia or China, and you start sanctioning them, but when it's little countries like Cuba and I don't know how much they still out there in Puerto Rico, but yeah, bro. I mean, they try to bully all of South American. Like when Trump did the whole thing with the sanctions, they told Mexico, everybody, like, yo, don't fuck with them, don't fuck with them. I
Yeah,
think the only country that really like goes against the grain is like Argentina and shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course, of course. Do you have any before I give it to Marcus? Do you have any thoughts on the cult named FBA or no?
Oh, definitely, bro. I'm out here in LA, dog, and we see through everything that Tariq Nasheed's doing, bro. I was actually out at their first protest at the Power 106. It's on
Oh,
my
you
YouTube
was?
page.
Oh shit! Shout out to
Yeah,
them.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, the homies are the ones that are putting all those banners up about Tariq Nasheed. They're really trying to run them out. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, that motherfucker fucked up because look, I've been out here in the activism scene for a minute.
Yeah.
And when we were doing maybe like 2 years ago, we had a real big it wasn't super huge, but we did have some organization through a couple states about, better treatment of migrants. Obviously we want them out, but we were just trying to lift the standard of treatment because we had people on the
Of
inside
course,
that
because
was
people are people. Yeah, of course.
stuff was happening, right? That's all I'm gonna get across. And when you're organizing at that level, you have to be inclusive with everybody, with feminism, with gays, with this and that, because people, minorities back each other up.
Yeah.
And there was a group that wanted, American flags at the protest, to be inclusive, but there was these people that identify as indigenous that they're called landbackers, and they're
Okay.
like, no, no, no American flags, they're colonizers, da, 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 da. So there was a rift between Latinos on both sides of that spectrum.
Wow.
And the indigenous people, they were very like, no. So it was all during the BLM protest too, as well. It was like right after that, so they know we support. And there was some they're like, no, that's their thing. Let them do their thing. So yeah, I'm just trying to get you guys a little bit of what was going on. So the
Gotcha.
guys that are actually protesting FBA hardcore right now, they're part of the indigenous group, the people that were going up to bat against the other people that were now, let them do their thing.
Yeah.
So what Tariq Nasheed has done at the small level and organized LA is the people that were like, yeah, no, it's the blacks' time to shine. Let's support the brothers, get their reparations. When it's our time to shine, it's our time to shine.
Of course.
And with the whole ADOS movement and the them, we see it as erasure of indigenous peoples, what they're trying to do when they try to proclaim that they're indigenous and
Yeah.
all that stuff that they push. So that's really pissing off people that were on their side. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? So Tariq Nasheed becoming so big out here in LA, it's just making like a whole different. You get what I'm saying? Like
No, I
it
feel
like
you.
flipped the pot. It flipped the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said, I don't be out there too much. I know we're gonna protest against Tariq Nasheed in November. I know one of the homies is taking Connie Collins to court right now because she
I
did a
mean,
bomb threat
we
against
were.
him.
You. Oh, she did.
Yeah, she did a bomb threat against him, and this
I,
one was a
I, I,
claim.
I don't know. Maybe we're speaking. Maybe we're talking about or thinking about the same person. I was talking to him behind the scenes, and
Yeah,
he showed me like videos of them in court or whatever the case is. But
yeah, yeah.
that's
We're definitely
crazy.
talking about the same person, man. He's definitely leading the charge right now, and much power to
Damn,
him. I just
a bomb threat. Goddamn shit. All right,
yeah.
the Avon lady got some. All right, cool. I got more people in the back, but let me just let
Do you
Marquis
think, man? Do
go.
you think?
All right, let me Marquise go, and then I'll invite the rest of the people in the back. Just hold on tight, guys. Let Marquise go. Marquise, give me, tell me, give me what you think.
Yeah, one of my big questions, because I was in this talking point from a lot of Caribbeans and Latinos, things like that. That's about resources of these islands and things in the Caribbean. What resources are you like talking about, like as far as the American military industrial complex? Like, what resources are you talking about that the United States wants? Because Haiti is the size of Maryland, and the GDP is less than Rhode Island. So what exactly is there to gain from taking this island over?
Well, the same thing
Well,
with
no,
the same
I
thing.
have an
Wait,
answer.
real quick. The same thing with Venezuela. The GDP is shit, but Venezuela got oil,
Okay,
and that's
okay. Do you know who Venezuela sells their oil to the most?
yes, I do.
It was China, but China,
No, it's the United States.
no, this
No,
is
that was
okay.
before.
That
No,
was
it's
before.
still the
That
That was
was
U.S.
before. That
that
was
was
before,
no, it's
bro.
not. It's
It
not.
is still the
Look up.
U.S.
No, it is not.
I,
Actually, no,
I, it
Marquis.
is
I've
still the
made my
U.S.
research. Marquis, the U.S. is trying right now to reestablish commerce with them, but since Nicolas Maduro took over in 2013, they are not doing this whole transactional commerce with Venezuela any longer. That's what the U.S. does. Now, they were supposed to be just exporting their oil to China. For some odd reason, Last year, China decided, according to the US, to put a special tax at $30 per barrel on Venezuelan oil, deeming it trashy oil or low quality oil. This is not something I made up. You can look it up yourself. That happened
I just
last
looked it
year.
up. She's right. I just looked it
Okay.
up.
So it's
It's
like I
China.
said, you're talking about stuff that we all know about. This is out there. You can look it up yourself. And Haiti was also dependent on that oil. They were investing in Venezuelan oil, but the US had sanctions on that. So yeah, Haiti has water, which is one of the main resources that the US extracts from Haiti. Precious metals, which is another huge resource that the US is after in Haiti. There's still gold in Haiti. There's still precious stones in Haiti. Come on. Of
I,
course,
I don't
they're
I don't think you
after.
guys realize the scope of taking a resource from the place. Haiti, if you took all the resources out of Haiti, it would be like 13.4 billion. And if, as far as the industry goes, it's insignificant. Like the US, and if okay, it's because I was in logistics, all right. I was in logistics while I was in the military, and I'm in logistics now. I'm running a truck company. I move freight, so I know how the rates and everything goes. I know the oil rates, and I also know what's going on with oil as far as now. Now BP stands for British Petroleum. They don't count that as an American resource, even though that's one of the largest processors in the Southwest. As far as the U.S., they don't count that as an American company. That's so that throws your numbers off a lot. Venezuela, what happened to them? Because I remember when what was the president before Maduro, Chavez, when he criticized us for going into Haiti and trying to flex our military might. Yeah, I don't think people understand, like, these countries they're so small and insignificant. It's not worth the trouble.
Insignificant.
Wait,
Okay.
wait.
It's not worth the
So wait.
trouble.
So if they're so small and insignificant, how come America does all these horrible things and going over there and destabilize it? If they're so
Okay,
small and
the
insignificant.
United States was one of the only countries that no, it was the first and one of the only countries that even helped for the earthquake relief. What costs money is destabilization. When you have wars and things that break out, it breeds for that's where terrorism comes from. That's where communism spreads. Whenever you have destabilizations, you have countries that are they can't function properly. You get piracy, you get terrorism,
So wait.
you
So
get a
Marquis,
lot of wars, and these cost
Okay.
money.
Okay.
wait. Hold on, Marquis. So you mean to tell me America has nothing to do with anything, and people are just migrating here for the hell of it? Is that what you're telling me?
No, but this is my thing that I want to say.
If the U.S. wanted your resources, do you think they're going to stop them?
No,
Well, they're
no,
doing it
it's
now.
not that
It
you're
doesn't
gonna
matter.
stop
They're doing
them.
it
It's not
now.
that they're gonna stop them. It's that the US will have to go and commit genocide, which is what they're doing. They did it in they did it in the Boogeyman era. I don't do you want me to pull out the receipts? Because
Wait,
I can do a whole
I'm gonna bring the other people in the back. Hold on, wait. I don't want to
you
get
know.
this whole
So
long thing. I
but
want
then
other people
let me ask one question real quick to Marquis. If the US doesn't have, because that's the same rhetoric that we hear from American folk when it comes to the issue with Cuba and Puerto Rico. If you guys don't gain anything from us and we're an expense rather than a
It's control.
business, right? Then why is it? Why? Because it's not out of benevolency. You guys are not being benevolent. Because if that's the case, why should you invest money outside of your country?
Well,
Why
most of
is
the
it?
territories
Why
that
is it?
the
No,
U.S.
hold
had,
on,
they
hold
gave
on,
up.
hold on, hold on,
let her
hold
finish.
on.
Let her finish.
What do you think, in your opinion, that's so far been very imperialistic? What do you think the US gets from this tiny insignificant islands like Puerto Rico and Cuba, that it has to still be there and dictate everything that we do, put embargoes on our shit, limit our commerce, and not let us breathe? What do you think the US gets out of us?
Well, for one, Puerto Rico voted to stay part of the U.S. The U.S. has given up more countries and territory than it keeps.
Really? When did we voted that? What
Uh,
year?
I remember from what let's see, after the Spanish American War, what was that treaty called? The Treaty of
We were not participants
That
of
was
that.
Mexico.
That was no, that was real. That was 1897 when it ended. 1898 was the Paris Treaty. You
the
can look it
U.S.
up
had control
again.
of Cuba,
The
the
US,
Philippines.
it was only US and Spain that were participants on that. And as a matter of fact, if you look 30 years before, in 1867, Spain already said we cannot provide for Cuba, Puerto Rico, the Philippines, and other lands that they had. So colonial law established that they could not release us to our devices. They had to establish a currency, commerce, and a constitution before they could let us go. We already had the Puerto Rican peso that was already more expensive and more value than the American dollar back then, before Americans even set foot on the island. So again, I'm asking one more time, if we're so insignificant, then why American people insist in being in our countries?
For one, that's a whole lot of word salad. Two, the U.S. never intended to keep those territories. It came with the treaty. All right. A lot of these like I said, as far as the Philippines, Cuba, Puerto Rico, all those places, they came with the treaty. It's not like the U.S. went up there and said, "No, what? We want to control these countries." Whenever those countries wanted independence, did the U.S. fight to keep them? No.
No,
Now,
that's when you're wrong. That's when you're wrong. Again, you don't
I'm
read
wrong.
history. Yes,
I'm
you're
wrong.
wrong. I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why. Fidel Castro and the Castro regime, before they became what they are today, they had to fight the U.S. 40 times to become independent. As a matter of fact, there was something called El Grito de Yara. Do you know what that was? Do you know how many? Because people think that Fidel just woke up one day and became the president and this communist monster. He attempted to free that island 40 times before the U.S. decided to go. Let's not forget the Cuban Missile Crisis as well. Let's not forget that at some point they were supposed to be blowing up Cuba, and the U.S. still is there because Guantanamo Bay is American owned. So again, if you guys don't want these insignificant places, why the empire keeps getting into there? And I'm not even bringing the interventions of Nicaragua, the interventions in Honduras, Salvador, Mexico, Guatemala. I'm not even bringing those up. I'm just bringing the Caribbean.
That's the Monroe Doctrine. They just don't want communism. It's simple as that. We don't care about the countries. We just don't want.
But what do you care? Why do
they don't want communism to spread? That was the goal of the Monroe Doctrine.
To spread, okay, communism.
Yeah, it's control.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Yo, Vuvu rants. I don't know if the camera's on, but it's not showing. Something happened. Try to come back, bro. Go ahead, Marquise, and then I'm gonna have Kevin.
I see that. Look at this. You see how people don't read. Castro was Russian. Castro is a Catalan person. That's from Spain. He's not Russian. Like,
I just think it's funny because the U.S. if the U.S. wanted that territory, they would take it.
No, the U.S. has taken it. They just can't. Let's just keep it real.
They can't.
No, they cannot.
You serious?
You want to know what they cannot?
The U.S. can't.
No, the U.S. cannot commit open genocide 90 miles away from Florida. That's the reason why. I'm not even making this up. Look it up yourself. That's the history of your people.
Just like Manuel Noriega had one of the most powerful armies in the Caribbean at the time. You know where that army is now?
Dude, again,
they don't exist.
How did you move the goalpost from?
It's the
from
same
America.
thing.
To
You're not moving the goalpost. She's giving word salad. She's jumping.
She's not giving word salad. She's not giving word salad because you didn't know. Wait, first of all, hold on. Marquise.
He doesn't get it, bro.
Marquise,
you don't get it.
I do get it.
Marquise,
if you can't run your own country, you blame the U.S.
Marquise, first of all, the first thing you said was Puerto Rico voted themselves for not to be in the U.S. And when she asked you when that happened, you stood shut. And she gave you a history.
I couldn't give you a date, but that's common knowledge.
That never happened, bro. Do not say word salad on something.
I'll do my own video later.
Bro, but she's schooling you right now, bro. You don't know what you're talking about.
She's not schooling me.
Come on, bro.
She's schooling you, dog.
Okay. I'll tell you what, man. You got so who's holding? I got a question for you guys. Who's holding the U.S. back?
The people, everybody,
in terms of
the nation, laws, international laws. What do you mean?
Venezuela, that can't.
What do you mean, international laws, bro? What the fuck?
International.
You don't get it. That's what I'm saying. He don't get it. Of course, the U.S. can take over Haiti on a drop of a dime. What's holding him that is international laws, bro.
Just like Iraq.
Think about it.
Iraq.
Hold on. In terms of what you're talking about holding,
Iraq held them back, right?
In terms of what, Marquise? What are you talking about?
They lied about Iraq, bro. They lied.
So what? I'm just lying about Venezuela. Why don't you just lie about that?
That's. I'm sure they're thinking of ways to do that. I'm
you
sure they're
think-
thinking of ways to
You
do
know
that.
what I find funny? That people talk about Venezuela and all these places without doing their proper research. And
They
I'm
have
not
lied
taking
about
this as a
Venezuela.
Socialism doesn't
diss.
work.
I'm gonna explain
Nobody's
this. I'm gonna
talking about socialism right
no,
now.
but
Nikki.
again, you have if socialism is the problem, you have a socialist democracy up north of America. It's called Canada. Why we're not invading Canada? Now
That's not the
let's go
same.
back. Now let's go back. Let's rewind a little bit back to Venezuela. If you
Canada
think,
doesn't have.
hold on. If you
Canada's not
think
socialism.
again,
What are you talking about?
again, it is
Yeah,
a socialist
there
democracy. Look it up.
It's socialist.
It's a
democracy,
socialist democracy. Now again,
I haven't seen that guy
if
take over
so-
private property. I haven't
can
seen that.
but then you have to read it up, because it's the same thing that happened with the Paris Treaty when you thought Puerto Ricans opted in to be part of this nasty empire. We did not. Now, again, back to what I was saying. If you look at Venezuela, what makes you think that there are not active U.S. troops today that the UN, as a matter of fact, I tried to become a UN participant helping people many years ago in Venezuela. The U.S. has a presence down there and it's killing people. It's just that you don't know anything about it because you don't watch international news. And the U.S. tells you that they're just offering democracy to the world. That's the excuse that the U.S. uses to go kill people in Yemen, Syria, Libya, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Cuba, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Nicaragua, Mexico. That's the same excuse that you guys use everywhere. We're trying to preserve,
if you're in the U.S., you're damned
democracy.
You're damned. They said the same thing about Rwanda. Like, why didn't the U.S. intervene? It was like 2 years right before that when you had American troops being dragged through the streets of Somalia trying to feed the people. There's nothing to gain from entering these conflicts.
What
So
the
whether
U.S. What the U.S. You know what the U.S.
They're going to be blamed for it.
Do you know what the U.S. did when Rwanda happened? Because I know.
What happened?
When the
Rwanda,
U.S.
Rwanda,
when the
what
Rwanda
was
disaster happened, the
Nothing.
U.S. turned its back on people. That's what
They
they
did what?
They turned its back on the people.
No.
That's
What
they
happened 2 years before Rwanda?
Oh my God! Here we go.
No.
What
Why
are we
did the
talking
U.S.
about,
not
bro?
go
Can
to
we
Rwanda?
get back on?
Wait,
Yeah,
wait. Hold on. Kevin's here and he's been patient. Kevin, welcome to the show. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts here?
Hey, first of all, big up to you guys. And it's an interesting topic. I looked at the title and I thought you were trolling FBA again or black people again. So I wanted to listen and try to be objective. So I will say this: that's that thing where that lady is in charge of FEMA relief, and she screwed Puerto Ricans out of that money. That's messed up. All right, nobody approves that, and I suspect she wasn't the only one. She was just the one at the top. So I was just looking for more people who actually got in trouble. I'm not saying that black women are stupid, because they aren't, but at the same time, $146 million. You know how hard it is to pull something like that off without help. So what they do a lot of times, they put these black women in charge, and then when it goes bad, then they everybody else is getting the money and skimming stuff off the top and setting up their little private bank accounts, and then the black person is the fall guy. So she's an idiot for allowing that to happen, and she should be punished for it. But I was looking for more people to actually be punished, except just not only her.
It's just not one, but I think you're mixing both of them. The female official, what she got was kickbacks. What she got was basically she helped Cobra Acquisitions embezzle $1.8 billion so that our power grid never got really fixed. Yeah. And there was another FBA lady from Atlanta that has a food company that promised some foods and made a contract as a private person. She has her own company. She went and approached
I'm looking at both of them, and I noticed that both of them are women, and both of them are, in charge of doing something. And
but nobody put her in charge. She was the one who applied for those funds because it's her own company.
Yeah, okay, I get all of that. But I was looking for more people to be punished. But at any rate, nobody approves of that, so they should be punished. But I was just looking for more people. Like there should be like couple dozen. There's always somebody else behind it. No offense to women, but I don't see y'all being smart enough to pull that off by yourself. And the other thing too is that because I know how hard it is to be corrupt. And the other thing too is that to this gentleman's point, and Marquis, I get that he's, I understand he's, making a defense here, but at the same time, there is, something to be gained from those countries. That's the only reason that the United States is there. And instead of leaving those countries alone and letting them, develop and flourish.
Hey, did his volume go down, or am I tripping?
Say again.
It's like your voice went from loud to real I don't know if you're
Yeah.
muffling your mic or something, but
Yeah,
No,
it went real low, real
I
low.
just kind of lowered my volume. That's all.
I could edit his mic volume now. I'm putting it up just in case. Okay.
Okay, so instead of allowing those countries to flourish and actually, conduct economic trade the way they want and with other countries and have friendly relations with the United States, the whole point is to go in there and pretty much steal everything. And that's what the United States has done. They have a really good history of doing that. I've studied it. It's so far 5 presidents down there have been in Haiti alone. 5. So that doesn't happen by accident. Compared to the United States, we only had 3 presidents assassinated, right? Everybody knows about Lincoln, but there's 2 other ones that were assassinated, which I can't remember. And then there were attempted assassinations. But bottom line is
JFK got assassinated.
okay, yeah. So JFK, and then there was one more. I can't remember his name.
McKinley.
Okay, that's what it is, McKinley. All right. That being said, that's a lot of presidents. All right, for a small country. All right, and every one of those situations, the United States government was behind it. And what they do is they put in somebody who's U.S. approved, and he's just as corrupt as the politicians and the leaders and whatever president is in charge at that time. In order to make these backdoor deals, they screw the people, the general population, out of what they should be getting as far as health, welfare, education. Equal relative, equity as far as political representation and doing the right thing for their people. And you got a few people at the top, oligarchs and a few other people who benefit, who most of them don't even live in Haiti. You got some of them who don't even live in Haiti, by the way, but they're run countries. They're taking out. I mean, I studied all of this. So Denisse is right. There's a lot of corruption on both sides. And, somebody who, I don't really approve of that. But the other thing too is that there's only so much that people can do to stop that. And you got to remember, in order for stuff for things like that to happen at the international level, then everybody has to agree to it. Meaning that I know that's based off the so-called Monroe Doctrine is technically still in effect, meaning that nobody from Europe can come in the Western Hemisphere and interfere in basically what the United States calls this area. And the United States has claimed the Latin America and the Caribbean as part of its area of domain and operation and area of influence. That's why they do all the screwed up things that they do. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that's what they do. And it's a lot harder to do it today. They have to be a lot more slick about it today. They have to, try to say things like, well, this president invited us in, when really that's a U.S. approved leader in position who's corrupt, that's allowing that stuff to happen and then stealing from their own people. I mean, just down, I'm not going to talk about where I am right now. I'll just say that there's some nefarious things going on. And, if you know the history of some of the places in Central and South America, you'll find out once those people get out of office, suddenly they get extradited. That's what it is, extradited. They get extradited to the United States or other countries, and they get punished for the stuff that they do. So what these leaders have to really do is, put themselves behind their people and not do this thing where they try to profit and make, have all these secret accounts and homes in other countries and actually look out for their people. So
I'll give you an example.
The United States can't do it without the help of these governments.
Yeah.
That's what
Not only that, I'll give you an example to what Kevin is saying. Right now in Venezuela, we know that there's Nicolas Maduro as the president. The U.S. decided that the elections were not completely transparent, and they deemed those elections as non-democratic. I don't know with what morale, because our elections are not transparent at all, but we feel like we have the morale to go and do that in another country. So they appointed Juan Guaido as the president. As a matter of fact, the U.S. acknowledges Juan Guaido as the Venezuelan president. And the people have decided that Juan Guaido is not their president. That's part of the debacle that's happening.
Yeah, and the U.S. should stay out of that.
It wasn't just the U.S. that said that either. It was several other countries.
No, the U.S. was the one that.
It wasn't just the U.S. though.
Oh my God!
Don't just say just the U.S.
I didn't say just the U.S. I said the U.S. appointed.
But you only said the U.S.
We're talking
It's the
about
United
the
States
US.
and other countries.
That's
part of the problem is that everybody agrees to this.
Let's start with this. Which country is the richest country in the world right now? Do you guys know?
U.S. and Europe.
The U.S. exactly. So if the leader of the country says Juan Guaido is the president of Venezuela, everybody else has to follow suit, because if you don't, then you're gonna be like Venezuela. So don't tell me like, oh, it's not just the U.S. The U.S. appointed that. It's the same.
Venezuela
No, you don't
Venezuela
have to follow
is what
suit,
it
though.
is
You
now
don't have
because
to
of their
follow
own
suit.
doing, not because of the U.S.
Again.
Like that's clear from everybody.
The
Even when I
world, the
was in
world
college,
follows suits, bro.
No, no.
even
Again,
when I was in college,
the
my
thing
own
is that if
Well-
the people want if the people want a specific president and they say, hey, look, this is the guy we voted in, not who you picked for us, then the United States needs to allow that. The problem is that the United States is not allowing that. And the United
even
States,
when I was in college,
we have to admit to the corruption, and there is a problem with that. I don't agree with it. I'll say this. You know, I know the point here is a point to where black people are involved. But I always look at whenever a black person makes a decision, there's always a white person, behind them saying, hey, look, this is what I need for you to do. That woman at the UN, who's the ambassador right now, who's actually appointed by Biden, she's supporting those policies to go into Haiti. I don't support that shit.
But can she quit? But this is the thing, Kevin. Can these people quit their jobs?
What's supposed to happen then? What?
Can these people quit their jobs? And
yeah, absolutely. And that's what she's, and you know what? And that's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to be quitting her job, making a whole bunch of noise. And really, now I get that she doesn't want to end her career, because that's what it's going to do. But the bottom line is that she'd actually get more respect if she said, look, the Haitian people said they don't want us there. We don't need to be doing this. We need to pull out. And she's there because she's
wait. Can I say something really quick? I really kind of do support going into Haiti, because at this point they're migrating to other countries at an extremely large rate. They don't want to be there. So there's something serious is going on.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
There's no reason for that. They can't do it themselves. Period. We gotta stop trying to be so
I get that, but we
they just can't do it. They can't do it. If they could do it, they would be doing it.
Exactly. And you're right, but you got to understand
it's anarchy in Haiti. It's anarchy.
You're right. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Let Rand go. My question to you, Rand: what can they not do? I'm not getting it.
They can't run the country.
Oh, okay.
They can't run the country. They need big help over there. Period. They need big help. They just can't do it, or they would be doing it.
Yeah,
they would be doing it.
Why you think they cannot do it though?
Now, I don't know what the reason is, but I know they can't do it.
Got it. What are
so
your
you
wait,
the latest reason?
Real quick. Wait.
Go ahead.
The title and the conversation that we're having right now, Rance.
Okay, the title of that's why I decided to come in the room. I was just scrolling on YouTube on the TV, and I seen the title, and I've been in and out of the room, so I'm not really sure like what y'all getting at. Are y'all trying to say that FBA is colonizers for participating in the army?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Not exclusively the army, is because you guys also partake, just as Latinos do, just like the white men. You go with the white men that you accuse of being the colonizers of yourselves. You go with them to go pillage the world and kill people. You guys don't pillage the world, so that's imposed on y'all.
My 3 years in the army, I fed more people than I killed. Like, I killed quite a few people, but I fed way more people than I killed.
Okay,
well,
that's a really misleading title. That's a really misleading title. We don't have no culture of being no colonizers.
But you're
that's
American.
Not our culture.
But you're
that's
American.
Right? We serve in the
If the U.S. want to be a colonizer, we would own half the world.
Agree. Yeah, I'm American.
There you go. There you go. That's part of your culture.
Yeah,
you know exactly. See, y'all playing word games and stuff like that. It's real sneaky and tricky.
Listen, I'm not playing no word game.
No, you are.
FBA said we're Americans. Okay, then take the bad part of being American.
That's not a bad part.
No, I wouldn't accept every part of it. Every part of it.
Exactly.
But let me say,
wait.
There you go.
Look, let me say something real quick.
Look, you playing the game.
I'm not playing no.
Let me say something real quick, because this is something that, and that's why I wanted that question that I asked you regarding Haiti answered. If Haiti cannot build themselves, and they're supposed to be able, if they could do it, they will be doing it according to you. Then what's stopping FBA people? Because I see a lot of the same mindset being talked about FBAs and how you guys compare your lack of wealth towards white America. So if white America and black America, which are the original Americans, in my opinion, aside, with the natives, if you guys have a gap in wealth that's huge, what is stopping you guys from building the same type of wealth? If you could do it, you would be doing it. So
We're,
let's
No,
not
that's
make
not
it
true.
the
Hold on, wait.
Americans are starting from behind. We
Hold
can't
on, wait,
build that
brother,
type of wealth.
brother. She asked me that. Please let me answer this. Please. Can I go not interrupted? I ain't gonna take long. American history.
Yeah,
Hold
go
on,
ahead,
wait.
go ahead,
American
go ahead.
history. Black Americans have been in the middle of a sabotage. We have lived side by side with our oppressors for 500 years. They have said anything we do, they flood our towns, burn our cities down, they sabotage us in the system, they plant drugs on us, they put drugs in our community. We have lived side by side with our oppressors. Them people have been left alone in their countries and left to their own devices, and they just can't build it. We watch other nations, other island nations build it. We watched Taiwan build it. We just watched what was that, Barbados? They just got away from the crown. They building it. It's the people that make the nation. FBA, we have been living side by side with these people, and anything we do, they come through and sabotage it. The United States government. We have been in the middle of a 500 year
Let him
sabotage
finish.
by the United States government.
Okay, so you're
wanna add to
saying
what
that
he's saying.
so you're saying that the only people that the US has targeted, we're talking about white America, that white America has targeted exclusively, not Libya, not Syria, not Afghanistan, not
You know,
Iraq,
that's
not
not what I'm
Latin
saying.
America, not Haiti, not Puerto Rico, not Cuba, not Venezuela. None of these countries have been attacked by the US and sabotaged for decades, like you guys have, for hundreds of years at this point. None
Okay,
of
now
these
let me say
countries.
this, right?
No, but I let you finish, brother. So again, none of these countries have been constantly sabotaged. Just you have been said. That's what you're trying to say, or no?
No, this is what
Okay.
I'm saying.
Okay.
We
So
live
again,
side by side. You won't let me finish. We live side by side with these people to the point where these people will walk up to us and fall down in front of us and say, I'm the victim. I'm the victim. That black man did it. That's the type of oppression that we under. These people have been selling each other out. That's why y'all can't make it in your country. Yeah, because y'all have been selling each other out. Y'all haven't been working
we have
together.
been what? We have been what?
Y'all have been selling each other out.
Selling each
Y'all
other
haven't
out.
been working together.
Okay.
The reason why I heard you mention Puerto Rico earlier, the reason why Puerto Rico isn't making it is because the Puerto Rican people don't want it. Period.
What?
Y'all
Okay.
come over here.
Show
Huh?
proof.
I wouldn't say that. I
No,
wouldn't say that.
no, but
No,
let me,
no,
as
I
the
would say that.
No, as the only Puerto Rican here that was born and raised in the island, I want you to
Okay.
educate me which dates and which events shows you
There
that
has been several.
no, I want you to explain that. Which
There has been
dates?
several
No,
referendums.
let me finish because I don't wish to be interrupted. I don't want to raise my voice. So I want you to tell me with dates and with events, which dates and which events Puerto Rican people decided we did not want it to become independent.
I don't know the exact dates, but we can look this up.
Then you don't know what
Hold on,
you just
wait.
made it up. Then you
No,
made
I
it
did
up.
not. Hold on, wait. Let me finish.
Because I have dates I can show you.
There
that
has
we
been
wanted to be
several
independent.
referendums where the Puerto Rican people have voted to become independent and they rejected it. This has been going on for almost 130
Wait, doesn't that
years.
contradict? Doesn't that contradict?
They're not actually independent.
The Puerto Rican people rejected it.
Wait, Ren.
If the Puerto Rican people wanted to be
Hold on,
independent,
Ren.
He is right.
Doesn't that contradict what you just said?
No,
How
but
so?
Wait. If what you just said, the Puerto Rican people cannot do it on their own, but yet they voted to be by themselves and they got rejected by the U.S.
No, that ain't what I
contradicts
said.
the whole
No,
thing.
but
That's not what I said. I said the Puerto Rican people rejected it.
This is the
They
problem.
didn't want to be independent.
Again, let's go rewind, because this is the problem that I have always with American folk. And this is not black exclusive, this is American.
You're American too.
The problem is, again, I was not born and raised here. That just because a piece of paper says it, that doesn't mean anything. Because it says that you're American, do you get the white treatment or you don't? Because the last
Well,
time I checked, you did
technically
not.
still American,
No,
though.
because you're saying here you don't get the American treatment. You get treated as a different thing than an American. So can somebody, this is the problem with imperialistic supreme views. So again, how is it that we have the 1950s riots, we have people like Filiberto Ojeda, the Puerto Rican army, the Puerto Rican invasion, we have all the you don't look throughout all the federal documents that are explaining things here, how Puerto Ricans have been tortured, massacred, killed by the US protesting for their freedom. But then you want to go into the referendums that Congress said Puerto Rico is not even on the agenda. And I might not remind you that last year, just as last year, the representatives of the US held in chambers a whole meeting where only one Republican representative said the reason why we're not going to move forward with the whole concept of making even Puerto Rico a state, even though 54% of the population voted for it, is because you have a larger population that wants independence and it will cause civil unrest. In his words, I did not make this up. You can go back and look it up yourself. He literally said, these people do not necessarily want to be a state. So independence has been an ongoing topic in Puerto Rico, and it keeps growing all the time. As a matter of fact, majority of people that are pro-independence on
That
the
makes
ground,
no sense.
it makes no sense because you don't live there.
If 54%
don't-
want something, that's the
again,
majority.
No, because the only people that voted was 1.2 million people, and there's 3.8 million people in the island.
So that's the only ones that care.
No, it is not. And as a matter of fact, the problem is Congress has to create that referendum for us to vote. Congress has not done that. We're doing referendums just to have our politicians win local elections. But you guys don't read that.
So the gentleman in the center is right, but you're wrong on something, sir. I got to correct you on something.
No,
okay?
I'm not, because I know what I'm talking about.
I'm
You're
not
talking about my
you.
He
He's
wasn't
talking about
talking
the
to you.
center.
He wasn't talking to you,
Oh,
Denise.
So Denise, you're right. I know you know the history. So you're right on everything, sir, but you're wrong about the lack of U.S. interference. There has been U.S. interference, destabilization, a whole bunch of other stuff. And the thing is that when everything you said that happened to black people is absolutely true. The only thing that you're wrong about is that you're not actually placing any blame as it relates to what the United States is doing in other countries. So that's the only thing you're wrong about. But everything else you're right about. Now, this is what I find very ironic. When black people say the exact same destabilization and ruination by their own U.S. government, and the attacks are being exerted on black people, black men specifically in the United States, the go-to response is, you guys are complaining, you're being victims, stop whining and pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. And I look at it like this: if that's what we got to do, which is what we've been doing, by the way, then everybody else need to do the exact same thing. So now at this point, I'm tired of hearing that. Because if I got to pull myself up by my bootstraps, then all of you guys got to do the exact same thing. And that's what we're doing. Everybody's doing what black people do, which is say, hey, look, we're going to bitch, whine, and complain and fight the problem. And we got to deal with all the issues and problems. And we got to fight and fight and fight and keep rebuilding.
But when was the bootstrap argument part of this conversation?
But no one else has to do that. So y'all got to start doing that too, man.
Kevin, when was the bootstrap conversation even part of this whole thing?
Because that literally is when black people start talking about how black men are destabilized, attacked, and actually everything we get ruined and all this other stuff and everything else. It's you guys are playing the victim. You complain too much. Stop talking about
nobody
the problem.
brought that up though.
No, we get that all the time. I'm not saying that you say it. I literally was on panels where black men literally are saying this to me, and which is crazy because they're under attack too. The only reason they say pull yourself by the bootstraps is because they happen to be doing good under the system. And what these black men don't realize, if they do something like what Kanye West did, which is say something negative against white people or the system, then they're going to be attacked just like him. That dude is losing money. He's losing businesses. He's going to be broke here in the next few years.
Which is something that we do all agree.
But this is my thing. This is my whole.
So that's even my counter argument.
This is my whole topic on this because it's the same can be used for both parts. There's someone that has a little bit of feedback.
No, that's not what's happening, though, Denise.
No, but I haven't even said what I wanted to say. So you guys are already reacting to nothing. Okay,
because you're
let's
because
take
you're
a
wrong. But
deep.
go ahead.
No, but
Go ahead.
how am I wrong when I have not said anything regarding what you just said?
You already
You
started
see,
off wrong. Go
no,
ahead.
no, because again, this is the problem. I can shut
I'm
up
gonna let you finish. I'm gonna
because
let you finish.
I will
Denise,
just
go
I
ahead.
rest
Just
my
say what you
case.
gotta say.
No, because we're coming to this conversation, and I realize this. I don't want to continue the back and forth because we're always having this conversation in bad faith, Kevin. Because you're
pull
always
yourself up by your bootstraps.
it's
White men get that every day.
it's in bad faith, Kevin. Because you
We get
can't
that
say
every day. Come on now.
Kevin is in bad faith because
No.
again, I did not even
Yeah, I know.
express
It's
my
in
point.
bad faith on everybody else's part. We're the only ones being honest there.
I didn't even say anything, and you already told me I was wrong. It doesn't
Because,
get better than that.
I know where
I
you're
want
going with this, but
people.
go
I
ahead.
want people in the chat to tell me if I was crazy or you guys heard him said that I was wrong without me saying anything on the topic.
Just say what you gotta say, Denise. Just
So
say.
again, if you're saying that people that are in overexploited countries by the same empire that oppresses you are leaving those countries to try something different and other options to better themselves, but then you're here telling us that we're not supposed that we're supposed to lift ourselves off by our own bootstraps and that you reject that. But that's exactly what we've been doing by migrating here. I know that's what I did.
That's not pulling yourselves up by your bootstraps. It's absolutely not.
So
See, that's why I told
because
you you're going to be wrong.
can I finish my damn point? Can I finish my damn point?
Go ahead.
Let her finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Christ. If I get interrupted, right, I'm just gonna opt out because
All right,
I honestly don't want to do this.
Just go ahead.
You guys, none of you guys have ever migrated to the United States. I did at 25 years old. So you cannot tell me how easy or difficult it is. I know what it is to be homeless in America, know no one in America, do nothing in America, find jobs in America. You guys don't know these things because you guys lived here and were born here. So again, do not come at me and tell me that being a freaking immigrant into this country is not lifting yourself up by your own bootstrap. And that's me as a Puerto Rican with American papers. I don't even want to talk about the ones that come with no freaking papers. Those are the ones that are suffering the most. And they still come here and make something happen. So again, if we're going to use the argument of lifting yourself up by your bootstraps that you guys are whining about, then what do we say to the people that come here with no papers, that are willing to die crossing the border, coming in these boats? There was just a Cuban dude that grabbed a World War II airplane and landed in Florida just for a better life. What are you doing today? Because I'm not denying that there is a systematic issue here. I never denied that. But what are you doing today to work with that system and do something? Because people from other places are outbidding you. And instead of getting salty at that, you should watch what they're doing and do it better because you have the advantage. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying.
I just want to say one thing. I just want to say one thing because I do see a lot of people do say that towards Black people. You gotta lift yourself up with the bootstraps. But the difference is, you guys are still over here trying to fight for reparations. Like, you guys can't move forward without it. People over there are just trying to not fight for intervention. You get what I'm saying? They're trying to kick them out. You guys are out here with your hands out. That's the difference.
Whoa, that's not a handout.
Hold on.
Reparations not a handout.
Black Americans got our hand out?
Whoa, hold up.
Hold on, wait, no, I'm trying to get context with
on that one. We don't have.
I'm saying with the whole reparations side. What I'm replying to.
Let him finish.
Look. What I'm replying to is when he's talking about that Black people do get. They do say that lots of them. I'm not gonna lie, but it's when they start talking reparations. That's when they say, "Nah, get up about your bootstraps." There's different types of people that from all over the world that's coming over here that's doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That's when people use that terminology.
Yeah,
not when
benefits when they come.
What's going on in Haiti is they're trying to kick them.
Hold on, wait. Can I address that?
Go ahead.
Reparations is, I just said earlier, we've been in the middle of a 500-year sabotage, literally sabotage. Anything you could think of, they've been doing it to us. So us going to our government saying you are wrong, you owe us, you sabotaged our communities. That's when she asked earlier why y'all ain't in the position that y'all supposed to be in. I just told they have been putting drugs in our community, literally. The CIA,
agreed.
The CIA, these people took an oath to protect us. They took an oath to protect us. This is our government. Our own government have been cheating us, putting us in slavery, Jim Crowing us, putting drugs in our community, doing science experiments on us. Y'all got your own spaces and places on this planet.
Okay, check it
Y'all
out.
got
I
some of the
agree.
most
I agree.
beautiful
I
places.
agree. I agree.
Hold on,
I
let me
agree with
finish,
everything
real.
you
I'm
said.
gonna land. Hold on, I'm gonna land real fast. Y'all got
Go
some
ahead.
of
Go
the
ahead.
most beautiful places on the planet. Literally, I'm talking about white sand and blue water, and y'all squandering it because y'all not working together. Let's be clear. We got to be real now. We got to
Okay.
be real now. Y'all not working together. Y'all come over here and get 2 jobs. Why you can't work? And then you said that you are pulling yourselves up by your bootstraps by migrating here. Do you take something back to the village? Because I don't see nothing wrong with going to go hunt, but you don't stay on the hunting ground. You're supposed to take your prize back to the village, back to your
Look,
people.
Yeah, people
look,
do that.
I agree with most of
I'm
the things
gonna.
that you
Let
said.
him,
This is the
wait.
thing.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'd like to
Okay,
hear a
look,
response.
look, I agree with most things that you said, but if that's the case, when is Cuba gonna get reparations for the embargo? When is Iraq gonna get reparations? When is Mexico gonna get reparations for the stolen land? You get what I'm saying?
What's stolen land?
What's stolen land?
You get what that opens up to everybody. Oh, give me this too. You get it?
Yeah. So
That's
look,
that's just
hey,
their
We could have just
mindset.
took it. We paid for it.
We're
I
talking
want to say
about
something
something
about the
that's
reparations
gold, something that
conversations.
the United States government promised us. First of
Look,
all,
hey,
this was
so
promised. We were in hardcore bondage, slavery under the United States government. They promised us 40 acres and a mule. They
Yeah, and
reneged on that promise.
Mexicans were genocide out of this country.
How
We were
so,
hung
sir?
and we were enslaved
They
just
had a
like you
war.
were.
But look, I'm gonna intervene with this because I disagree a little bit. Look, the American folks, Black folks in particular, helped white American, whether it was forceful or not, to build this nation, and they also bled for the establishment of the America we know and enjoy today. Now, America told them, as a contract with you guys, we're gonna give you this. If they would have been given what the country promised them in a contract back then, which was the 40 acres and a mule, they would have been in a better position today. That's the reality. So I am for reparations. I've never been like, oh no, they don't. No, they deserve their reparations because the country that they pay taxes into, that they have contributed to, that they have participated into, promised them and established a contract with its constituents that were Black constituents, a contract. You cannot do a contract with your constituents and tell them, oh, I woke up today, I just don't want to do it because I don't feel like to. No, that's not the way it works, because you don't ask me if I feel like paying taxes. Okay. So at the end of the day, yeah, reparations need to be paid, not only for services rendered to Black people, but because America openly promised this to them. That is out of the question.
That is true.
America has never
Yeah,
promised
no,
none of us
I agree with that.
anything.
I agree with that.
Now,
And-
my thing,
you agree it's not a handout then?
And,
So
and
we
no,
can
no,
hear
it's
and
not.
and the
It's
funny
a
thing is
payment.
that these slave masters got reparations first before anybody else. So
not only
Yeah,
the
you
slave
know
masters
what?
get reservations,
Like,
Native Americans got
yeah,
reparations. They still get it to this day. They still get it today. Then on top of that, Japanese Americans got reparations. Not only that,
Yep.
between Presidents Obama and Biden, they found money they found reparations money or money to actually pay additionally, in addition to the reparations that Holocaust survivors get who live in the United States, they're getting money on top of that.
And
So this
not
whole
only
thing
that,
where
not
so
only that,
black men are the
Kevin.
only ones doing this whole bootstrap thing, and we're
Not
forced.
only that,
So
Kevin.
so my
Let's not
response to
forget.
everybody else telling
Look.
us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, I'm giving you the same energy back. Now the other thing too is, look, man, here's what's really supposed to happen. Those folks that are leaving those countries are supposed to stay in those countries and fight to actually keep the United States out. It's really that simple. We're
No,
supposed
it's not that
we're supposed
simple.
to be
It's
fighting
not
for
that
what we're
Thank
simple.
you.
supposed to
Thank
here in the
you.
United States.
It's not that
That's how it's
simple.
supposed to go.
but Kevin,
All right.
you know
But
it's not
the
that
things the
simple.
United
this
States
is the
does is they
problem.
actually put people into charge to actually work against their own people's interests. The same shit they do to us. We got black leaders right now and black politicians. Y'all have heard me say this a dozen times, who work against our own interests. That woman, Linda Goldsmith, whoever she is, the U.S. ambassador who's actually doing Biden's bidding. We don't fuck with her. We don't rock with her. We're not telling her. We don't approve her actually authorizing troops or agreeing with Biden to actually go put troops or intervene in Haiti affairs, because they're screwing the place up.
Speak for yourself on that one, though, brother. Speak for
They're
yourself on
driving
that
more
one.
Haitians out of their own country, forcing them into other places, either Central or South America or to the United States. Now, they can't come to the United States.
Okay. I'm going to say two things real quick. first of all, Kevin, I understand that you and many other African Americans might not agree with her, but it's the same thing. When did you guys give us the benefit of the doubt? And not you particularly, but I said the group. When did we
You know
get
what,
the benefit?
Denise?
No, but let
Go
me
ahead,
please
go
let
ahead.
me talk. When we were given the benefit of the doubt every time American Cholo or Nuri Martinez does something, now it's all Latinos doing a power grab.
Yeah.
It's never.
No, because
It's
that's
never.
your culture.
It's
That's
never.
your culture.
No.
That's
That's
your
not our
culture.
culture. That's not our culture.
Can I finish? That's not
That's
my
not their
culture.
culture, man.
Again,
That's just a
that's
few
not.
people.
That's
No,
not my
that is their
culture.
culture, sir.
No,
That's a few people being in our pocket.
Again. Let me finish.
Wait,
Again.
give me a minute. I like doing this. You said that that's our culture, being racist and all that. Can you name me what practices all Latinos do collectively that is racist?
All Latinos teach anti-blackness in the home to their children. That's a part of your culture. If you teach it in the home to your children, that's your culture. We pass down our culture. We receive our culture from our forefathers.
Got it. What? How come I wasn't taught that?
You are an outlier. I will give you the benefit of the doubt and say you're an outlier. I can't prove that you weren't taught that.
Wait. But it's part of my hold on. But it's part of my culture. So how
you are? I just said you are an outlier.
I think I might bring another outlier here. Did you get taught that?
Nope.
No,
okay.
Y'all listen. Well, then she's an outlier then too. Then, but if you're gonna tell us that anti-blackness is not a part of Latino culture, I'm gonna say you're lying. Everybody know about this. Everybody talks about this. This is common knowledge.
Let me tell you something.
In every Latino country, there's anti-blackness.
Of course,
and y'all bring that here.
Of course, because
what are you talking about?
Because what you're pointing out is white supremacy that's global. Are we agreeing on that? Okay. Yeah. Racism is over. Racism is over
that's
there.
Your culture.
Wait. Racism is over there, just like racism is over here. So with that logic, that means racism is your culture.
No, it's not. No.
No. There's racism here.
No.
But there's racism here. No.
Big Mama don't teach hate nobody.
But there's racism here.
Your grandmothers teach anti-blackness in the home.
Okay, so how come there's black men talking about I only want to date light-skinned black women?
Well, I don't know
which
what
one
a black
is
man.
it, bro? Come on now.
I don't know what black man you talking about, but that's not taught in our homes. We do not teach that. We do not teach.
The thing is, there is racism. There's everywhere. There's racism everywhere. That's something that we have to.
We're not talking about racism. We're talking about anti-blackness. You asked me to name something. We understand that talking about anti-black culture.
Anti-blackness is part of racism, is it not?
Well, I would say, yeah. I mean,
okay,
if you want to play that, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So we could be in an understanding.
We don't teach racism. That ain't never been a part of our culture.
So we could be in the understanding. I understand there's racism everywhere. Now in Latin America, are there racist people? Of course they are. Do they treat black folks a certain way? Of course, like everywhere else in the world. Now,
so what are we talking about?
Is it part of our culture? It's not. Because
it is.
No, it's not. Because
it is.
No, it's not. Because
we watched George Lopez said. George Lopez said, "Don't park in front of my house. And don't marry a black."
If it was, that means every Latino everywhere there wouldn't be no outlier. That would be part of our culture. The same way how I dance bachata and salsa and shit. That's part of my culture. I'm supposed to be anti-black because that's part of my culture. The fact that I wasn't taught that proves that that's not part of my culture. Because
no. I'm saying I don't got no proof. I believe you were, but I don't got no proof. So I got to give you the benefit of the doubt. But I understand, you understand, everybody in this chat understand that Latinos are anti-black. They have that has been historically proven.
Are there anti-black?
We got the records.
Are they anti-black Latinos? Of course, I'm not denying. I'm not denying that. The same way how there's anti-black black folks, the same way how there's racism in the black community, we have to be real about it.
We don't got no racism in the black. What racism?
What do you mean? What racism?
What racism?
In the black? There's racism in the black community.
What racism?
In what black community? Black community? In the black
not
community.
In the foundational black American community.
Really?
We don't even know y'all
call people that you don't agree with tethers. Isn't that a racist comment?
No, it's not. No.
So what's a tether then?
A tether is somebody that's trying to tether on to our
exactly, and you guys use it in the negative.
That's not we don't teach that. The tethers came over here with the anti-black
negative. You guys use it in the negative, yes or no?
Well, I mean, if you come in here to undermine me, what I supposed to?
So you do use it in the negative. So that is a negative connotation.
If you come in to undermine me, listen, we not no punching bag, sir.
I'm not saying you was. I'm not saying you was.
We not no punching bag. So what do you expect?
Well, I'm saying, and also, yeah, the divestment movement. Yeah, there you go, divestment movement.
Who is with the divestment movement? Let me tell you this, community. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I am from a real black community. I am a real black American. I have no immigrants in my family. None of my forefathers. None of that. We have never taught nothing about no divestment. We don't put white people on no pedestal, sir. White people, these people have been our oppressors for hundreds of years. We've literally lived side by side with these people. We don't put them on no pedestal. That divestment shit is not a part of our culture.
Let me ask you, how come FBA is regurgitating white supremacist talking points?
Like what?
Go back to your country.
Go back to your country. If you hate black people,
that's white supremacist.
No, it's not. No, it's not. If you hate if I come to Puerto Rico, where are you from?
I'm Dominican Ecuadorian.
If I go to the Dominican Republic and say I don't like Dominicans, I should probably go back to my country.
Okay, got it. Again,
like Mr. Benavide. I know you know who Benavide. I forgot his first name. He came over here. The guy, it was a big controversy a few years ago, talking about nigger and monkey and all these jungle shit. Okay. He should go back to the Dominican Republic.
Now let me ask you: Do those races Latino represent the whole community?
Yes, I will say yes, because you have an anti-black culture.
Okay,
you have an anti-black culture.
Got it.
We see this in every.
I understand. So that means Jesse Lee Peterson represents your community.
No, because you don't.
Oh no! Wait a minute.
No.
Which one is it now?
Jesse Lee Peterson is an outlier. He's an outlier. We don't take Jesse Lee Peterson seriously.
What about Tommy Sotomayor? He's an outlier.
We don't take them seriously. Tommy Sotomayor can't go around no black circles.
Okay.
If he go around a black circle, we gonna take his head off his body.
Okay. I'm gonna bring the people back. Yeah,
you know that, right?
I want to ask something real quick before we continue this because
me too. Yeah, I just want to know. Really I just want to know, am I going to be able to speak? Because everybody else has been.
Give me 1 second. I just want to ask something.
Y'all been talking for a while.
Yeah, let me get into it.
I'm gonna say something real quick because I didn't got to reply to what Kevin said. Unity is not going to keep the American empire outside of our countries. Nuclear power is. That's why America wants to invade North Korea and cannot. That's why they want to invade China. That's why they want to invade Russia and they cannot. Now, what we need is access to nuclear power. That I will agree. Unity, that will never happen. America has nuclear power, and we have to do whatever the hell they say. It's the same. Look at the countries that America can't destabilize. None of them have nuclear power. That's the reason why America is there. The minute that one of our countries gets nuclear power, we're all going to have to unite with that Latin country and defend ourselves. But until then, that's why America can intervene. It's not unity.
Okay,
that's not true at all.
Go ahead, Resident, and then I'm gonna let 18 go. Resident, say what you.
Yeah, man. I just want to clarify on the anti-blackness in Latin American countries. We all know it does exist. What you guys have to understand, it's a European country that took over these Latin American countries. Just because there is that sentiment doesn't mean that the brown Latino stands for that, that the black Latino stands for that. So when you guys kind of just blanket statement like, oh yeah, you know, and I live in LA, so we get it the worst. You get what I'm saying? That we're all anti-black and it's anti-black. It's not true. And I mean, I'd like to touch up a little bit on Los Angeles. The reason why things are the way they are, because when we started coming over here in the 50s, we were getting robbed, we were getting jumped by blacks in the jail systems. Our food was being taken away. That's why the whole manual and all that movement started, where it's like, yo, don't fuck with them. You get what I'm saying? And all of a sudden we started getting numbers and we started taking over the power, and that's where we sit at today. But it's not no real anti-blackness. It's just
the way things is happening. I mean, I remember
They're
being
writing
5 years
nigger
old, seeing my
killer,
mom
nigger
get jumped, seeing
killer.
my dad, you know, chasing fools with knives. You
They're
know, and my
tagging
dad's a
nigger
Paisa. He's not
killer.
a gang member. You get what I'm
They're
saying?
literally tagging nigger killer.
Wait.
Whoa,
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
understand that.
answer
I
that,
understand
man.
that. I understand that because
You gotta
that's
answer
where
that,
the
man.
war was
Yo,
bad. That's where
Resident,
the
you gotta
war was
answer
bad.
that, brother. You
Everywhere
gotta answer that.
everywhere that they tag nigger killer, the opposite tags Mexican killer. And we all know these
Just
places.
not true.
All right.
Were you in a
Look,
black
hold on.
neighborhood?
Let me clear one more thing. And the only thing that got worse, and the people the stuff that people still talk about, is that when it got real bad, Mexicans took it to that place. They were the ones that took it to that place where it's like, fuck that. This is what's happening. This is what's going on.
Let me
You get
say
what I'm
this.
saying?
So
Nobody
y'all,
wins
so
the
you,
war.
so you do
Nobody
agree
wins the
with
war
y'all.
because people died on both sides. But
Okay,
when people were willing to take it
agree
further, that happened. You get what I'm saying?
So you
But I
do
grew up in
agree
Compton,
that.
all over LA. I'm cool with all the blacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Listen, you
good.
do agree that there's anti-blackness in the countries y'all come from, but somehow you trying to convince me that when y'all come here, y'all lose your anti-blackness.
Nobody said
No,
that.
no, what
No.
we're not listening to,
That's
it's the
what he's saying.
Europeans.
He's saying,
It's the
and then the black
Europeans that
started
are in
the
heads. It's the
black
if you
started
turn
it
on
with them.
Univision or if you look at the Mexican politics, it's all blonde hair, blue eyes, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm brown. I'm brown as
right?
fuck.
Yeah, because that's the culture.
Let Rakim
That's the
go.
culture. Everybody bring two things with them to this country for sure. They bring the dish that they eat, they foods, and they also bring their racism. So y'all came over here with that. How would we be racist towards y'all in the 50s when we was told to drink out of segregated water fountains and all that? We was looking for allies. Y'all got a culture of worshiping white.
So
that's why everybody
the Zoot
when your
riots never
politics
happened. The Zoot riots never happened. The Brown Berets never aligned with you
Thank
guys.
you.
The Young Lords never did nothing with you guys. Come on now. Rakim, go ahead.
See,
bro.
but
outliers.
See, what we're talking about is politics and the streets, and there's different levels to it. There's different aspects. We're talking about streets, politics, TV, all that shit. You get what I'm saying?
Resident, chill out. Let
Rakim go, man. He's been waiting for a while.
People been letting off like a fully automatic assault rifle out here, man. Damn. Don't nobody let nobody speak. First and foremost, I just want to say the situation that, man, everybody been all over the fucking place. I don't even remember what the fuck I was going to say. But first and foremost, what Robert was saying earlier, black people are not looking for a handout, Robert. Black people in America, because a lot of people just talk out their ass and don't do no fucking research. That's always the problem, because when you don't do research, you can use your ignorance to justify a lot of hatred that a lot of people be spewing. I've heard it. I've been around. I've heard it. Like what you were saying, of course, we already know words like mayate, chango, and different shit that a lot of other people be saying out there when it comes to Black Americans. But
okay, but there's words that you guys use against us too. So what are you talking about?
Like what? Like
no,
what?
we don't use mayate.
No, like what?
Like what?
Like spig, like tacos, burritos. There's plenty of NBA YouTubers right now that go all over with that taco burrito talk, dog. That's how y'all shame us. Y'all just don't see it in the same light. But we do. We do.
This
y'all
is one
come
of them.
from countries where y'all teach that.
Wait. This is one of them. Point to your worry about your filthy homeland. That's one of them. So
yeah, that's in self-defense now.
Let's not act. Hold on. Let's not both sides are innocent now. Come on now.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They like to see one spot.
We are innocent.
Hold on 1 second. I got this. Back up 1 second, brother. I got this. First and foremost, Rad, we can't sit here and act like Black Americans just developed this type of energy overnight. This is a reactionary energy that Black Americans have been spewing to people. Every time now that when it seems like to me, man, I ain't even gonna front, because it seems like to me when people think that they can say whatever they want to say and they can spew whatever that they want to spew, but when Black Americans start hitting back, then it becomes a fucking problem. That's something that has to stop. I've been hearing not only with the anti-blackness with words. You have a history of blackface in Latin America, just like you have a history of blackface here. You have the comic book character Mimi Piguin in Mexico, where he's like a monkey shining shoes, and his mother is like a mammy type of monkey. So we gotta cut the bullshit. It's been
Made by the white person, made by a Spaniard white person.
but a lot of people say
No. We ain't gonna blame it on the white. We ain't gonna blame it because
That's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
Right.
You guys blanket statement like everybody in
Because
Mexico
it's
is
your
white,
culture.
bro. They're all
So
fucking
it's
brown,
like-
homie.
it's like
Conquered
saying-
by
it's
fucking white
it's
people,
like
just
saying-
like
it's
over
like
here.
say- it's
That's
like
what you
saying-
guys don't see.
how
And
come-
you guys
how come
don't
a
want to
black-
see
it's like saying,
because it
how come a
aligns with
black
your
man isn't-
propaganda.
It's like saying,
You guys
how
don't
come a
want to
black
see it because
man
it
isn't
aligns with your
brown?
I wanna
propaganda.
say,
That's just the
Rod,
facts.
Rod, can you highlight my last comment?
Wait, give
Because
me-
now
give me-
that just highlight it. Just highlight it.
Wait, no, hold on. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute because this person keeps on coming in and out. Marco, what's going on? Say what you gotta say, bro. Marco. And there he goes. Okay, what comment? What comment?
Are you trying to say Wakanda?
No, what comment? What comment? My fault.
I'm just messing with
Denise.
you, man. I'm trying to lighten up the panel because you guys are getting real serious. Hey, so look,
The one that I
Houston,
wrote,
Dragon Ball Z,
highlighted,
that one?
Rakim is actually right.
highlighted really like because I want to touch on that. Again, we get
know
go
what?
get
Since I
called
don't
we
get-
get called we
I'm
get
going
called
there.
wetback, tackle, illegal, go back to your country, whatever. Now, when you guys want to whine about there's blackface in our countries, yeah, we are aware that racism is all over the world. Everybody knows that. No one's denying that. My thing is, if that's the case, that you guys don't support blackface and it's so offensive, may I remind you that Dragon Ball Z has Mr. Popo, and Popo means shit, Mr. Caca, Mr. Poop. And y'all still watch it all the time, watch the movies, purchase the merch. Now, last time I checked, is Mr. Popo doing blackface?
He is.
Exactly.
It is. I didn't realize that.
So again, when you guys talk about us doing blackface and that's very offensive, then why you're watching and supporting Dragon Ball Z?
You
Because
said
it's not offensive when it's in Japanese.
Wait. Hold
No,
on.
this is what I'm saying. No, we don't support. We got issues with them too.
Marco just
we
came
don't
in.
got no
Hold
culture
on,
of doing brown face.
Yo, Marco, what's up?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Say
Oh,
what you
sorry.
got, bro.
Sorry about that, man. I was distracted. I'm just going back to work barely. It's gonna be quick. Hey, so the gentleman earlier, I think he's Latino, saying that it's a European thing to be racist and brown people aren't racist. That's a fucking lie because you can be any color and you can be racist. It doesn't matter. It's not really a European thing. And to the gentlemen that are
Nobody ever said that.
Yeah, well, I heard him say it's a European thing. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a Latino guy that was saying that earlier, maybe about 5-10 minutes ago. So, anyways,
No,
to the
what
gentleman
I
that
was saying
that
is-
are saying
Let
it's
Marco
innocent.
go because he has to
Hold
go.
on.
Wait. Let Marco
To the gentleman that's saying that racism is a Latino part of the Latino culture, that's a lie. We're being gaslighted, and what they want to do is they want to get us in the position that they got white people in a position of guilt. Is there people racist in Latin America? Yeah, sure, man. It's like radical Latinos said, they're everywhere. But we're hold on, give me a second. I'm sorry.
No, take your time, bro. Yo, you good, bro?
Yeah. So what they're So pretty much what they're trying to say is they're trying to guilt shame us. They're trying to label this as all Latinos are racist, this and that. This is all freaking psychological manipulation, man. That's what it is. And there's no other way. It seems like these guys don't know how to take rejection. They don't understand that there's going to be always a group of people that are going to reject others, and that's okay. Latinos are rejected all the time, but we're not guilt shaming anybody. We accept it, Piggy. We accept it.
That's actually true.
Do you accept
So
it?
yeah, that's all. That's all I wanted to say, man.
Okay, cool.
Y'all accept racism from other people?
No, he didn't say that accepting the racism. He's talking about.
Could I reply to what he said about me?
He said acceptance the fact that we get rejected. That's what he said.
No,
if you want to
no
reply,
problem with that. But you have if we're so racist, right? Let me, because the one guy said he's from Los Angeles. If we're so racist, right? Why are all these Latinos cosplaying us and mimicking us and we got Latinos running around here talking about they niggas. If we accept everybody, we accept everybody in. We the only people in this country that has accepted everybody in. The white folks don't accept y'all like that. We have accepted y'all into our culture, into everything. And
Well,
y'all
That's
turn
actually
around
one
and
of the black
stab them in the
people's
back.
weaknesses.
well,
Accepting
you had certain black groups back in the 90s calling Latinos black. So why are
Who?
you surprised that Latinos are calling themselves black now?
What?
Yeah,
The,
but
What?
I already
the black
we covered that earlier, though, man.
Israelites, the Morris Science Temple people. Come on now.
Saying
No,
that you
but
guys
hold
were
on, wait.
black.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
Were you
no,
actually
no,
black, or
were you just
no. They
saying you were
will
black?
they will come to me and tell me, hey, yo, you know you a black man, because you're the same. We come from I think Adam. Or
Okay,
something
all
like
right,
that.
okay, I'll give you that.
It's
But
not even that. I say that was a
we was
mistake
talking about
for them to
that.
do that.
Huh?
What
I say
happened?
You know that
I
that's not
say
a
it was
part
a
of your
mistake for them
culture
to do that.
to be talking about you are a nigga.
No, that's
We
not.
accepted you all the way in that much, and you
Exactly,
proving my point there.
exactly.
You proving my point there. We accepted y'all in. It's y'all the ones that's the came with the racism, because y'all come from racist countries,
No,
anti-black
that's
countries.
not
Y'all
true.
bring that with y'all.
That's not
All right.
true.
Hey,
Because
hold on,
this is
Rad. I
what
just wanted
usually
to say
this
this,
is what you
man.
wait. This is what usually happens. One person gets a bad experience from a Latino, whatever, and then for some reason they start blaming the whole group. The same way a Mexican has a bad experience from a black person or whatever, and then they start blaming the whole group. That's what usually happens. Now, let me give you a little history lesson of New York, and especially how the Latin Kings started. The Latin Kings started by getting beat up because of Jamaicans, the righteous 5%ers, and all that. So that means it was immigrant blacks and black Americans beating up on Latinos because they didn't know how to speak English and all that other stuff. They had
Same thing with the Southsiders in LA.
They had to unite, form the Latin Kings, and then they became the oppressors they were fighting against. And that's how the Bloods became in New York, because they had to fight against the Latinos. I know all about that. So do not say one part started it more than that. We both started it. All right. We both had our.
And that's y'all always do that. Y'all always do that.
Hey, Radical, can you repeat the reason? What black people were actually doing to the Hispanics again initially?
Beating them up, robbing them from the commissary, taking their food.
Were they in black neighborhoods though, or were they? Or did black people go to their neighborhoods?
They were in jail.
Were they in black neighborhoods, or
they were in jail? All of this happened in jail.
Jail's a whole different world. I don't even want to get into
all
prison.
Of this happened in jail.
That's
all
prison
of this
nonsense.
happened in jail. All of this happened in
You
jail.
know, in prison, you know how that shit works. It's every man for the get for the damn stuff.
But this goes to my point, though. Whenever somebody brings something up, always because
he don't want to talk about it.
Always because of that. And then I'm like, well, we got excuses too that we could use.
Okay, no.
So you telling me prison culture migrated out to the street, and now that's the result of it?
No, it's vice versa. It's prison and street culture. They migrate in between. It's vice versa.
We saying that this is your culture. We see this in every class
what's
of
racist
Latino.
about our culture. You can't name it. You can't name something that we practice as racist that all Latinos practice.
I see prison.
We just watched George Lopez say, "Don't marry a black."
George Lopez is Mexican. He doesn't represent the whole Latin community, but to you, he does. So that means Jesse Lee Peterson represents your whole community. That means every black person in Chicago that be killing people represents your community. So which one is it?
Come on, Rad. That's not.
No.
Race.
Hold on.
What is that about?
Wait, Rakim. I'm fighting ignorance with ignorance. If you want to use that same logic, I'm gonna use that same logic. Fuck that.
You're not even using that same logic.
I am using that same
logic. I'm gonna break it down.
Jesse, hold on, wait. Let me
no, brother, you've been speaking a lot.
Hold on, wait, because I want to answer that one point.
No, you've been speaking a lot, brother.
He said that this is he said one thing about Latinos. The exact thing that he said. The exact thing that George Lopez said was one thing about Latinos: don't park in front of our house and don't marry a black. Jesse Lee Peterson is not speaking on the whole culture. He's not speaking on the whole culture.
Nor is George Lopez.
No, he said one thing about Latinos: don't park in front of our house and don't.
Okay, so we got that. What do you got to say, man?
I'm gonna keep it a G. I'm not saying it's not incidents of black people robbing Latin people or different things like that, because we know criminals in our community rob every fucking body. They probably robbed 10 black people before they even saw one Latino to rob.
True.
And most people use that to try to justify let's just keep it real. It's a lot of people, like, I agree with what the brother said. Our grandmothers don't teach us anti-Latinists because let's keep it real, a lot of Latin people ain't been here within the last 40 years. So we don't, that's not something that we got taught within our communities. That's not something that but he is right. It is a lot of people that come and it's blatant racism. It's not like an undertone. See, it's one thing because white folks know not to say certain shit to black people because our history and they know black people will turn up. So they're not going to do that. But it seemed like it's a lot of blatant racism that comes from other groups.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever, I've heard this from Black American household. Don't bring nobody darker home. This is something I've heard.
That's colorism. Radical.
Isn't
That's
that the
the
same
issue
thing?
between black people and black people only, though.
Isn't, but that's the same thing. We're talking
What
about
type of
racism.
black? Man, that's fake
Black
news.
people gotta deal with that.
Hey, yo, that's the same thing.
That's
That
the
doesn't
same
make black
thing,
people
bro.
racist.
That's the same thing.
That's
No,
fake.
Not the same thing.
That's not
That's
true.
the same damn
Yes, it
thing.
is.
That's
Yes,
true, though.
it
That's
is.
just not true.
It's not. It's absolutely not.
Wait,
And
Throughout our
radical.
history here in this country, right?
Hold on. How come it's not true? But when it
Because
comes
throughout
to
our
us,
history,
no. When it comes to us, anti-blackness is
I'm
a thing.
explaining to you, Rad. I'm
like, come
explaining
on
to
now.
you why it's not true. I'm explaining that to you. First and foremost, I've never heard that. Second of all, when you say, "Oh, why do black guys say that they want light-skinned girls?" We all know a lot of the times it's media programming. I would give what the R guy said. A lot of the times it is media programming in other communities and everything. But what we're saying is that it has been a history of blatant racism in some of these other countries that has never been resolved. That issue has never been taken. That issue has never been faced to anything where you openly and blatantly discriminate of darker people within South America and Central America. And so with that mentality comes people come here and they already got that mentality and they think they're going to try that with black people here in the United States. But black people is not going for that shit because we fought for everything that we got here. That's just common. What the art guy was saying earlier that I didn't get a chance to address. No, we don't have our fucking hands out, my guy. We don't have our hands out. A lot of the situations that has happened in our community is we've been completely targeted. We've been completely targeted. Have you heard of any Latin leaders from any of these groups that's been assassinated? All of our motherfucking leaders have been assassinated.
I have.
Hold on, can I? Before we go around the block, can I address that?
How many of your
Hold on, can I address what the host said?
No, because we want to compete. See, we want to compete like that.
No, we're not competing, Denise. And you never let me speak. You never let me speak. You've spoken. Everybody has had their chance to speak. I never get a chance to speak. Everybody is running their mouth, and a lot of people don't know what the fuck they talking about.
Because you're taking the conversation kind of around the block. I wanted to address what he said about don't bring a black person, don't bring a dark person home. I've never heard that either.
I'm not taking the conversation around the block. I'm addressing shit that I didn't get a chance to address in front of the house, which is why I'm going around the block. So if anybody can just give me a chance to speak,
Rakim, finish up, and then I'll let Rance finish up with his thing. Okay, Rakim, finish up what you got.
What I was gonna say with the dude R, he said that Mexicans was lynched. Yes, a certain group of Mexicans was lynched in Texas. That's it. It wasn't places like Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, North and South Carolina where people's bodies was being burned and with a whole fucking group of white people sitting there taking pictures and smiling, people's insides being cut out, babies of women being cut out. Everything is not just that. Scratch that. Not even just slavery. Look at all of the shit that happened.
We went through the same shit through the war. They were giving money for scalps. Scalps of women, scalps of men, scalps of babies.
Black people did the same thing to brown people.
Hold on one second.
Let him talk.
You didn't go through like redlining, blockbusting, Jim Crow, the denial of FHA loans, convict leasing, debt peonage, eminent domain, urban renewal, 1956 Highway Commission Act, job discrimination, the COINTELPRO that killed all our fucking leaders, all our fucking towns burnt out. Come on. Like
you left out the race massacres too. About 50.
No,
you left out the crack epidemic. You left out the crack epidemic.
Rakim, I'm sorry, but we did also.
Where?
Did you?
Name me where.
COINTELPRO targeted the young lords, bro. That was part of the whole thing.
The Young Lords was a fact. The Young Lords started the Young Lords off to the Black Panthers. We all know that.
Okay, that doesn't negate that they still got targeted though.
But that's why you were targeted, because you were linking up with black people at the time.
Exactly. It was in the COINTELPRO papers. Attack the Young Lords was right there.
Yeah. Anybody that was going against them at that time was targeted.
I'm not going to go into the oppression Olympics in this whole thing.
But thank you. That part. That part.
Because black people will beat you every time. That's why.
Because
there is no
this is the thing. Can I make a comment? Can I make a comment?
Because nobody else can compete.
You signed up for it. Whatever you signed up for.
You have to make it quick because I want Rance to go, and then I want the other two brothers to get.
Yeah, I want to clear something up.
Then let them go.
Hold on.
Then
Denise,
let them
go
go
real quick.
No, let them go.
Okay. Rance, go ahead, Rance. Say what you got to say.
I'm gonna go real fast. That's not true. Don't bring home somebody black. I'm dark skinned. Don't bring home somebody black.
You're an outlier, right?
Hold on.
I would just say you're an outlier. The same thing you.
No, hold on, wait. No.
I'm
gonna explain why I'm not. I'm gonna explain why I'm not. We have been here in this country. We have been getting raped by white people. Everybody in this, every black American in this country got somebody dark skinned as black as Wesley Snipes and somebody that's your complexion in our family. We got my auntie is light skinned. My father is dark skinned. We got all types. If you go to any black barbecue, any black family function, you gonna see every shade of brown in there. That's not true. Don't bring home somebody black. Who said that? That sounds like some immigrant that I've heard. You ain't never heard no black American family say that.
Why would
we don't teach that. We do not teach that. You're making that up, sir.
I'm not making that up.
We have who you hear that from?
Some people in the chat goes like, "Yo, I heard the same thing too."
And bottom line,
and as far as the black guy might prefer a light skinned woman, that's his preference. But we don't teach that in the home. We do not teach that in the home. We don't have no purify the race culture or lighten up the race culture.
That's true. But I would just say this.
But yet it's happening.
The thing is that let's keep it real. You've had a lot of Latinos that just look at black people as their competition. Let's just keep it real. That's pretty much you have a lot of Latinos that look at black people as their competition. Let's just keep it real. Because and that's just what it is, man. You have a lot of people the shit that people get away with saying, we would not be able to go into other people's countries saying that. I would not be able to go into the DR or PR or Cuba or Ecuador or Colombia or Panama saying the shit with a group of black people, black Americans saying the shit and disrespecting the people and not having any respect for their history, their politics, the way that the system is structured in that country. I would not be able to get away with that before my ass would be getting sent right back to America. Let's just keep it real, man.
All right, let me go real quick.
Okay. Resident and then Marco. Resident, go.
All right, like I just want to clear one thing up. I said earlier, I'm the one that was talking about reparations. I am for reparations. What I was saying was that when he's talking about that the black people get called out for pull up by bootstraps, and we're talking about Haiti and other countries, we're saying that people are just trying to get, it was a whole nother thing, and people just heard that one thing, and all of a sudden I'm this guy that's anti-reparations. But yeah, definitely for reparations. But what I do want to talk about is what he was saying. And this is gonna sound racist as shit, but fuck it is what it is. When you see people getting jumped, it could be the media. That's what you guys say. When the Asians were getting assaulted, it was black people. Out here in LA, when the food vendors are getting assaulted, it's black people. It is more in your guys' culture to rob and steal. That's all I'm gonna say. Everybody does it, but when we look at it, we're like, yo, don't bring them home. They're bad. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, bro. It's not that we're racist, like, whoa, but we're not trying to blanket statement everybody. That's not what I'm going to do. Because I live out here in LA. I lived in Compton. I lived in South Central. You know what I'm saying? We get along with everybody. That's all I'm going to say, bro. And I got to get going, so I'm going to listen to you guys rebuttal that real quick. But that's all I'm going to say. We're not anti-black, homie. Like I said, we're not anti-black, dog. It's more prevalent that dark-skinned people do.
Dude, Reverend, are those people in black neighborhoods when all this crime is happening? Because that gets left out. Black people are not going to Asian, white, or other neighborhoods running around doing all of that to people because we get punished for that shit, and you know it. So black people do not leave their area, go to another neighborhood, and start robbing and killing people. That's not how it works. All right, so y'all got to be in
What are you talking about?
no,
all
that's
the
not-
jewelry
wait,
assaults
what?
are right now. They're in white neighborhoods. They're going to Beverly Hills, all over the place.
And
What are
that's
you
just
talking
all
about?
black people doing that, is what you're saying.
No. It's definitely everybody does it. Shit, during the BLM riots, I got my hands dirty. I was out there. I ain't gonna lie.
Now,
Okay,
how you
But
so
sound,
you
then?
say you
How
black
you
people
come
do
on,
that.
man?
Don't
Is
let
this
that,
even
bro.
for real?
And
Is this
Don't
guy
let
for real?
that.
Is this
now
guy
Don't
let me
trolling?
let that.
now
Are
let me
we,
let me
are,
go ahead
Hold
and
on, let me say this, right?
are we going to forget
Y'all come
about?
from a
Are we
culture
going
of
to?
rapers, robbers,
Are
and
we going to
stealers.
forget about?
Y'all
Are
come
we
from
going
a
to forget
criminal
about the
culture.
Mexicans? Are we going to forget about the Mexicans who was looting during the Rodney King riots? Are we going to forget
Or are we
about
going to
that?
forget about the cartels
yeah,
that
they
cut
was
off
out there
heads?
for sure.
Or are we going to forget about all the crime down there in Latin America? It's the most dangerous place on the planet. Latin
Okay.
America. Google the top 10 most dangerous countries.
Yeah, but
I
we're
can
not talking
guarantee
about
you.
that, bro. We're talking about the
What do you
states. We're
mean
not
we're
talking
not
about
talking
third
about
world
that?
country.
Y'all
We're
don't.
not
Y'all
talking
ain't
about
just
third
coming
world
here.
countries where people are starving.
Real
Let's
quick.
not forget that the
We're not talking
U.S.
about third
sells
world
its
country
guns.
people are starving. We're talking about
Y'all
first world
don't come here
country.
and
Hold up.
forget
Wait,
about
wait, wait,
Israel.
America.
wait. Real quick.
so those people are stealing because they don't have the resources.
Kevin. Hold on, Kevin. Marco, I said that Resident was gonna go, and then Marco, go ahead, and then anybody could chime in. Marco, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of nonsense. I don't know where this is going to go. Like what they're trying to accomplish, what they think they're going to accomplish. Most Latinos don't care what they have to say. But here's
We're
the
not
thing:
thinking about
a
you
lot,
either, bro. We're not thinking about you.
a
We're
lot
not
of the
thinking about
crime
you.
that goes on. Thank you. A lot of the crime that goes on in Latin America is propagated by the United States. Let's not forget that Obama sold millions of dollars of weaponry to the cartels. Okay.
Yup.
And the number one, number two, talking about how blacks don't go to neighborhoods to kill Latinos. Let's not forget, just recently, a couple of weeks
Wait,
ago,
Marco,
the
real
Stockton
quick.
murder
I'm sorry,
was
Marco, real
targeting.
quick. Well, wait, hold on. Denise, hold it down because I'm gonna be right back. Marco, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's not forget the Stockton murderer. He was black. He was targeting specifically Latinos. It's not the first time it happens. So, for all the Latinos that are listening right now, these guys are manipulating you. They're gaslighting you. They're
We're
setting.
not
They're
manipulating you
stating
about
things. They're
anything,
stating things.
bro. We don't
They're
want
stating
you
things
to help
as.
us.
They're stating things as facts. They're stating things as facts, hoping that you won't do your research and you will buy their lies. You're being manipulated. They're trying to gaslight us and they're trying to guilt shame us, which is
It's what
something
they
that's
always
not going
do.
to happen. And they're forgetting that they're saying that Latinos came here last. We've always been here. Before we were called Latinos, we were here. We were here, and before Mexico and other parts of Mexico and Latin America became part of the United States, a lot of those people never left. They were always here.
Yeah,
So
Spain
we were
sold your
here
land
before.
to the United
We were
States.
Let
here
him finish. Let him
example,
Spain
finish.
sold your
for
land to the
example,
United
Rakim,
States.
let him finish. Let him finish.
for
Spain
example, in
sold your land to the
California,
United
Let him,
for
States.
example,
Rakim,
for
let him
example,
finish.
okay, for example, in California, before blacks came fleeing from the South because of slavery, it was Mexican Americans that were already living in California before it became part of the United States. They never left. They were the ones that opened the door for Black Americans. They were the ones that gave them protection. And people forget about that, right? You're gonna forget that you're saying that black people, right? Mexicans or Latinos didn't go with black people. Well, let's go ahead and the thing is that the term Latino for a lot of us is a little bit tricky. You see, we're gonna go ahead and identify ourselves as brown now. Okay, let's say that. Now, brown people were slaughtered by black people. Let's not Buffalo Soldiers. Let's not forget that black people built Black Wall Street for they built it based on pretty much killing Native Americans, which is brown people, which is us. The Native Americans are part of Latinos. Just in case you didn't know, just FYI. So black people murdered and they raped little girls. Did you know that? You're forgetting to say that.
Black people
Where
in
are you
America
getting
murder
this
Native
story?
Americans.
This guy just saying
Hold on,
anything.
This
He
is a
just
hold on.
saying
fact.
anything.
It is a
Just,
fact.
guys, I need you guys to just don't overtalk each other, please, because we have a chat that we're trying to talk to. So, Marco, if you could mute yourself. Now, I'm going
Yes.
to make a commentary that I wanted to make. Then I want Rakim and Kevin to go. That I wanted to comment on certain things regarding this whole situation. We're not going to continue to go here with who suffered more, who went through more stuff. We know at the end of the day, that we will never understand the African American experience because we would not went through it. We know that for a fact. We're not trying to say, oh yeah, we know exactly what they went. No, we don't. Okay. It doesn't matter how many books you read, you do not. You don't know the repercussions of it. I don't know the repercussions of it. So let's just take their word at it. What I'm noticing is that we can take this as at face value, and what it's a little bit disingenuous, and I think the conversation stops a little bit, is when we're trying to speak for other groups about their experience. There is not denying, and I want my Latino folks to understand, I've seen a lot of anti-blackness from our collective. That is a fact. There's a lot of racism from our collective. That is a fact. That is not something that they're making up. If you're trying to deny that, then you're being disingenuous and you're being a hypocrite. We've seen this a lot. Now, granted, is the Black image tainted in America? Yes, but we're adults. We're supposed to have better discernment when it comes to see that the media is doing that, because we didn't like when we were painted as rapists and criminals and
Lady,
stuff.
what
But
I spoke of,
no, hold
I
on, hold on,
grew
hold
up in
on.
Los
No,
Angeles. I know
no,
exactly what I went through.
excuse me,
What do you
but
mean?
can I finish without being interrupted? Because we have a public that we serve, and this is Radical Show. So again, we do have those things. Now, what I'm not going to say is that, and this is the part where I think the ball gets stuck, because many of us can admit, yes, there is anti-blackness from our collective. What I'm getting is that we have brothers here in this panel denying that Latinos suffer anti-Latino-ness from their collective. It does exist. You cannot speak on it because you have never been a Latino in America a day in your life receiving this stuff. For the people that are in the chat, I am very sorry that yes, in Latino families, you're not going to be necessary. Somebody has some feedback. So you're not going to get necessarily welcome, especially in certain Latin cultures. I'm not going to name them here because I don't want to single anyone out. That is a reality. Now, my thing is, let's stop pretending that both of our collectives don't have these issues, because when we also date into the Black community, we also get resistance from the family. We also get anti-Blackness from folks. We also get many, many different things from different people. This is not an exclusive thing that Black folks go through. We live in a country that's very segregated by race. Unfortunately, it is not healthy, but it does happen. And that is a fact. So I don't want to see Latinos saying, oh no, we don't do this to Black folks, because that is not true. And I don't want to see Black folks saying Latinos don't go through that, because it is not true. We both go through these things, and we do these awful things to each other. We do. So now I want Rakim and Kevin to go.
I'm actually back. Let them go. Let them go. Rakim and Kevin, let them go, and then I'm gonna start wrapping it up. If Rance wants to go after them, let him go, because I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Just try to be quick, guys. All right, go ahead. Whoever's gonna go first. Go ahead.
I'm gonna just say this. A lot of people don't understand, because a lot of people are not trying to understand. They have their biases, and they have their pretty much, a lot of people think a certain way, and they're not trying to change their way of thinking or their mindset. You have some people due to, and let's just keep it a buck, coming from Latin America, based off of their Spanish history, they have a superiority complex. A lot of people don't really want smoke with white Americans, and I understand that, because coming from a country that the United States has destabilized, that they have destabilized within Latin America, and a lot of people are just trying to live, but people don't want to be at the bottom. Therefore, a lot of people spew this rhetoric, and they side with white America in order to have that place in where they don't feel like they are being targeted, where they don't feel like they're the ones that's at the front line. So we just have to be honest about that. A lot of other groups ain't looking. Black Americans are the only people that then fought against our own government. And a lot of people don't understand that if the government is doing this to your country, then what the hell do you think the government has done to essentially the only visible minority here in this country after the Native Americans? What do you think they've done to us? Like and you know what you were saying earlier about you know, Black people robbing vendors and different things like that. Yes, it is a group of Black people that rob and steal within our communities. If they don't have resources, a lot of people resort to criminal activity, no different than any other community. Somebody pointed out in the chat, yes, you even have a Latino that was robbing other Latin vendors and everything. I've even seen stories on it here where I'm at. So I'm not saying that is, and there's no excuse to do that. If somebody tries to attack you, Black, Hispanic, rob the vendors. If you got to bust their head open, bust their head clean open. I'm not refuting that. Nobody's refuting that. That's what we got to deal with when we in our communities, day in and day out. If we run past these types of people, first and foremost, like I said before, we don't have our hand out. A lot of people get involved in our business. We don't get involved in a lot of other people's business. We don't. Black, we got our own culture, we got our own history, our own music, everything else, and a lot of people gravitate towards that, and people get involved with what we got going on. A lot of the times we wasn't taught any anti-Latin things because Latin people in certain areas of the country, they haven't been here that long. You're talking about 3 generations deep, 4 generations outside the Mexicans in the Southwest and the Boricuas in the Northeast. Other than that, you have a lot of these other groups just migrate into different areas that has been historically Black, and we let people live. We don't bother nobody. But I just noticed that it's not the same smoke for the government that's destabilizing their countries for white people. And a lot of these people don't even know white people at all because they never lived around them. White people won't allow you to live around them. I would love to see a Dominican neighborhood try to open up in the middle of a white area and see how that goes.
Or an Asian neighborhood.
Or a Boricua neighborhood or anything like that. Open up in the middle of a white area and see how that goes. And, I'm not talking about the Northeast. Start getting over there into the areas like North and South Carolina and Michigan and Ohio. And you'll see, a lot of people know it's out there. They just don't want that smoke. And they'll try to justify how they feel in order to, just pretty much feel the way that they feel. And I'm not saying Black people are innocent. Black people are not innocent. We got some fools within our community. We do. And we try to address them the best that we possibly can. Everybody that's out here ain't innocent. And I agree. And I agree to that. And that's all I got to say.
All right, cool. Let Kevin go, and then I'm gonna let Rance go, and then from there I'm gonna wrap it up. Go ahead, Kevin.
So I'll go ahead and add to what he was saying. Yeah, we don't support these Black sellouts. We don't support these people who literally authorizing or have the power to authorize harm to other people. Just like we don't want anybody who from another race to actually harm Black people. We don't support that. And now the issue is that we don't have the power to stop it. It's just like you don't have the power to stop whatever the folks in LA were doing. Nobody, it doesn't matter whether any other group is racist as a group. I don't care if the Asians or the Hispanics or any other group is racist. What really matters is what do they have the power to do to harm Black people? All right, you only need 3 or 4. You don't need the whole group. All right, and we've seen that play out over and over and over again. And the other thing too is that there was a point where Black people and Latinos actually worked together. We can go back several decades on that. But at some point, there became a separation. And I hate to say it, man, but this is, and it's very clear to me that what Hispanics decided to do was actually shift over and go to where they could get the benefits and the privileges and all the other stuff, and then actually start going against Black people. And we're gonna, and you guys are gonna, and Hispanics are gonna have to actually acknowledge that, and they're gonna have to stop denying that's not what they're doing, because it's very clear that that's exactly what they're doing. All right. And is it all of you? Absolutely not. But it's the ones in charge who are actually doing that. And it's not just Hispanics, it's the Asians, it's all these other groups that come over, and one of the first things they do is they don't want to be on the bottom. They don't want to be the victim of all these attacks and everything else and all the abuse and mistreatment that Black people get. So, and honestly, if I were not Black, I would probably do the exact same thing. So I understand why people do it. It's just that when you guys try to deny it, that's a whole nother form of gaslighting. So you're not going to tell us we're not seeing what we actually see. And then to that other gentleman's point, as it relates to Black people running around attacking Asians, that's actually to be expected. You guys bought that that propaganda hook, line, and sinker. When somebody says something negative about Black people and what Black people are doing, especially, I look at that and I go, so why is that happening? And then what I found out? I found out that all of those Black people were mentally ill, they were homeless, or they were career criminals. And a lot of times what the United States government will do at the local, state, and federal level is they'll say, hey, look, come here, Black criminal. I need you to go out and do something for me. You need to go out and attack this Asian or do this or do that. And you know what? There is no law-abiding, hardworking, productive black citizen running around attacking Asians. And we know who was doing it at first. We know it was white people who were running around, calling Asian people names, blaming them for the pandemic and everything else. And what white people did, they got a very amazing propaganda campaign. They switched it from them and put the blame on black people. And they used those people that were homeless, who are mentally unstable, and the career criminals to actually get it done. And it's very interesting that you guys fall for that so easy hook, line, and sinker. The smoke that y'all have for black people, I want to see y'all put that smoke on white folks. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Asians do it. I want to see the Hispanics do it. I want to see any other group, all the immigrants who come here, even the black immigrants. All the smoke that y'all got for us, put that shit on white folks, because they're the ones actually running around here doing all the stuff. It's only black men who literally have to do what everybody says, which is pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, in addition to fighting for every little bit of good treatment that we get, any bit of resources that we get, any jobs that we get, any political representation that we get. We got to fight tooth and nail to get all of that. And black people, black men specifically, because we're not getting any help from women. I got it. A black man cannot fight all these different groups. And what I would challenge all of you guys to do, no matter what you're, especially if you're non-black, y'all better start putting some of this heat that y'all bring to black folks on these other groups who are actually putting all that pressure on you to actually exert that anti-blackness towards black people. That's what I would say.
I'm gonna say something real quick before we end this. Have you consumed our videos on white and Anglo people?
Yeah, I've gone back and I've looked at quite a few of them.
Okay,
yeah,
so if you see that there is a bulk of us that do put pressure on white Americans, why make that commentary?
No, it's not enough for you. It's not enough, and it's not the ones that are in power.
No. But how? Okay, my thing. Okay, because last time
that's fine.
No,
I'm
not talking about me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys remember, because this is a problem. I think this is when the discussion gets disingenuous. There was a lot of Trump riots during 2016 when he won. They were done by Latinos, and Donald Trump is not a black person. So it was not covered a lot or discussed.
That's actually true.
And it was millions of Latinos. The problem is that people
don't pay attention.
Can I finish without being interrupted? So the problem is that people don't pay attention to when we do these things towards white folks, because it doesn't fit the juicy narrative of minorities hating each other. So before we say these harsh and abrasive comments, we have to be very careful of what we put out there, because it's not necessarily true. There is ample proof. As a matter of fact, Radical's intro has a lady that's from the anti-black spectrum of Latinos saying there's more radicals than chivos in our community.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the way that our community.
When I started my podcast and everything, I was getting a lot of hate from the Latino sector of my sector, and they've even said there's a lot more people like me than there are racist people out here, than there are racist Latinos out here. Even part of Antonio Batista's rant, if the thing that went viral talking about black folks and all this other stuff, if you really break it down, he was getting mad by the fact that there's Latinos are not racist like that.
Not racist enough. Yeah,
we're not racist enough and all this other stuff. That's why he kept on saying, take a note from the Mexicans. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. So
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So that goes to show and goes against the narrative that the majority of Latinos are racist and stuff. And just one more point, Kevin. I understand that black folks attacking Asians, they was either criminals or mentally insane. For some reason, can we use that same excuse by the Latinos attacking the black folks? These were criminals.
No, because they're probably criminals. They're probably criminals, and then you got black people attacking Latinos too, and they're probably criminals. We don't approve that behavior either.
Gotcha. Okay, I just wanted to.
Okay, yeah, we don't approve that. No, nobody does that, because you have law-abiding, productive black men who don't, because that gets put on us. But yeah, I mean, I get your point. But the only thing, but radical, I get it. Again, I don't really care whether they are or not. The only thing that's important is, do they have the power to harm black people? And you only need 3 or 4, and most of them are actually sitting right there in positions of power. You put them on. They're on the city council. They're in Congress. They're doing all kinds of shit. That has, you know, so the fact that the majority is cool. Hell, there's a lot of cool white people. They understand racism, and they don't support it. But you know what? They ain't in power. They ain't in control of shit. You got people who are really in control, who are running things, who are making all these decisions.
Now those racist Latinos are out. So we're gonna
not
have
all of them.
We're gonna have
they just got caught.
racist Latinos in. So
and I want to highlight something before we go.
Yeah.
When we highlight black crime, I want people to understand there is brown crime. There's Latino crime left and right. We see it on the news every day. Okay, Latinos are out here selling fentanyl to Latino teenagers. Okay,
true, yeah.
There is a criminal class in every freaking community.
There's
if you
no
think
such
you're
thing as black and black crime, that's a
yeah,
lie.
that's retarded. And not only that, even Asians have the Yakuzas and the triads. There's a criminal class in every community. My thing is not racist when we point it out. And I want people to understand that when we point out black crime, what we're trying to do is gauge whether you're able to oversee race and dismiss the criminal class from your collective. If you're able to disconnect from that, then we can start having a genuine conversation, because you're not supposed to protect and defend black crime because it doesn't represent you. The majority of black people are not criminals
at all. And,
So-
but black people do need to get what they're supposed to get, their fair share of the resources.
We're not supposed to, defend Latino racism. That doesn't represent us, and it's not us. So.
Yeah, I get all of that. Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, if anybody who disagrees with me in the chat, I'll hang around for a little bit so you guys can come up after he ends the live stream. Because I'm not gonna let y'all sit here and disagree.
Kevin, you need your own channel.
I'm gonna put you in the back. Because
I got counterpoint.
All right, Rance, go ahead. Say what you gotta say, bro.
Yeah, you blocked me in the chat when I said it was fake news. By the way, you feel like I'm
oh, my fault.
That's cool. No, that's cool. I'm just letting you know.
No, I thought you were a troll. My bad.
Okay, I want to speak on a couple points. The Asian thing, when you said, can you use that argument that the Latinos that attack black people are insane? These people were actually insane. The black people that they kept playing those videos for those months, they were actually insane. They actually were off their meds. They actually have a history of mental illness, like being institutionalized.
Yeah.
Every last single one of them. Every last single. Go back and look it up for yourself. Okay. All of them were just recently released from mental hospitals. They have a history, and in the news, they can do a better investigation than me and you.
Yeah.
They didn't care to bring that point up. They didn't care to mention that point because they wanted to paint a narrative. Also wanted to touch on what the one guy said earlier, that Latinos are Native American. Y'all trying to do this thing now where y'all trying to crowbar yourself into American culture with that, into American, into all of this land is ours. That's not true. Y'all are not all the same people in Latin America. So don't come here and say, "Oh, we all Native Americans," because we all native to all the.
Real quick, hold on. We're not all the same people in Latin America, but when George Lopez says something that you agree with, now George Lopez represents all of us.
No. We understand. Hold on, wait, no. We understand that y'all do have an anti-black culture, which you said.
No. We don't have an anti-black culture. We have racism with
y'all have an anti-black culture. When culture. You say things like purify the race, and you don't got no smoke for white people.
Okay, where did we learn that from?
I don't know. Where did you learn from?
When we were enslaved by the Spanish. The Spanish
indoctrinated the white people enslaved us too. We never picked up anything like that.
Yeah, y'all did.
No, we didn't. No, we did not.
Yeah,
no, we did. We don't teach that in the home. We don't teach. Don't bring home a Latino in the home. Don't bring home none of that shit in the home. Don't go play with those Latino kids. You better bring your ass in this house before the street lights come on.
So what is FBA teaching now? FBA is teaching.
We're saying we acknowledge your culture.
No,
we accept
tethers. Don't do this. Don't date a tether. Don't be a bedwench, right?
Yeah. Don't those are not good things.
So now y'all teaching anti-blackness.
How are we teaching anti-blackness? That's anti-black to be a tether. That's anti-black to be a bedwench. We teaching against anti-blackness.
Okay, got it.
That's anti-blackness. And then y'all hold on, this is my last point. Y'all trying to say that we're just as racist as you guys, and it's all the same thing, and it was the same. It goes both ways. No, you don't see it. We see this anti-blackness in every class of Latino. We see it in your criminal class. We see it in your politicians. We see it in your old people. We see it in your children.
In our criminal class?
What? Yeah, we see it in your criminal class. We just watched the one guy say, I won't sign to a black label because of prison politics. He's a criminal. He's a criminal. He's been in prison.
Let me ask you something.
We seen Nori Martinez. You're a political class.
Let me ask you something. Wait, let me ask you something. By any chance, do you know anything about the Latin Kings?
Yeah, he was black. King Blood was anti-black.
Okay,
he was black.
So do you know that Jamaican and Haitian members could be part of the Latin King, right?
They're Latin.
Okay, all right.
No, I didn't know that though. I did not know that, but they're Latin.
Okay,
technically.
All right. So all right. So anti-blackness is in every part of our culture. Got it.
Yes. We see it. If it was the other way, right? You would see it in our clip. You would have one of our city council members saying, "I want to beat that little wetback child. I want to beat the little beaner child."
Let me ask you something.
You don't see that.
Wait. Let me ask you something before we end it. If Latinos are so anti-black, how come there's still black Latinos in our countries?
What do you mean? They're being oppressed there.
I'm not asking about oppression. I'm talking about.
What do you mean? Why? What do you? You're not gonna kill them all off? Which over there in your country?
Well, if we're anti-Latino, if we're talking about bettering our race, meaning whitening it, and we're so anti-black, how come there's still black Latinos there?
They're not killing. They're not killing them all off. You acting like you don't know about. Do you know about Edwin Paulinino that slaughtered 3,000 black Haitians? Because they was black. That was from your country.
What country you're talking about? Because there's 34 Latin countries.
That was in Dominican 300. He meant the parsley massacre. That's what he meant. That's what he's talking about. Trujillo, who killed. I think what was the number again? Like
3,000 in one day.
More than that. Nah, it was more.
Yeah,
than that,
we just seen the video today. Today I just seen the video where a Dominican Latino cut up a Haitian flag in front of the Haitians and stumped on it. Come on now, we ain't about to play stupid now.
No, but my point is, if there's all this anti-blackness within the Latino culture, there shouldn't be no black Latinos.
No, that's not. There's anti-blackness in white culture, and we've been living side by side with white people for 500 years.
Okay.
So you can't tell me that.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you finish your point, and then we're gonna wrap it up. At the end of the day, listen, I had a great discussion. I'm glad that you brought your points with it. How did you feel about the discussion that we had today? Do you feel like we should have a little bit more discussions between Latinos and black folks to get a better understanding?
I mean, well, this is my thing, right? We have to live around each other. Now me personally, I prefer not to deal with no Latinos. I see y'all as just like white people. I'm just being totally honest. I got a bad taste in my mouth. Okay. I prefer not to deal with y'all unless it's business. Okay. Other than that, I don't want no Latino friends. I don't want no white friends. I don't want no Asian friends or none of that. I just prefer not to deal with y'all. Y'all have shown us who you are. Okay. And we've been taught, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. We've done nothing to y'all. Y'all historically, we've done nothing to y'all. It's not 50-50. You don't see us writing Mexican killer or Puerto Rican killer or none of that shit on nowhere. We have always accepted y'all in to the point to where now y'all trying to tell us y'all created our culture. We accepted y'all in. It ain't never, Big Mama don't teach hate no Latinos. That ain't never been a part of our culture.
Listen, I better not see no picture with you with no Puerto Rican baby mama, bro. No Mexican.
No. Let me say this, right? I grew up, my stepfather was Puerto Rican. My mother used to go to Puerto Rico every year. This ain't about me. This ain't about me hating Latinos or nothing like that. We are accepting you for what y'all have shown us. Historically,
bro, we let you eat pernil, bro. We a little bachata.
I don't even know what that is, brother.
Pernil,
I don't even know what that is.
Pernil means pork, like fried pork.
I don't eat
Okay,
pork.
but come on, like
I know what you're trying to say, huh?
Yeah,
But
we don't hate you, bro. Come on.
no, that's not true. That's just not true.
I definitely don't hate black folks. That's
Well, you're an outlier. I can't prove that, but I can prove that it's a part of your culture to hate black people. I appreciate you in the chat. Huh?
Okay, what I will say is just really quickly, what I will say, thank you for coming in. Thank you for having this discussion. Also, I don't think I said my points of reparations a long time ago. I think Black Americans should get reparations. It should be coming on the form of a cash check and land with it. I don't think education vouchers should be. I don't think that should be even part of the package. I think money should be. I don't know how much is it going to be. It is what it is. I think people who have degrees should discuss that. But anyway, listen. Thank you very much for coming in. Everybody in the chat.
Can you unblock me?
I got you. I'm unblock you. I got you, bro. Thank you very much for coming in, guys, and I'm gonna catch everybody later. Peace.